Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. How are we doing out there today, guys? How has the day been treating you? Fresh week. Hopefully you're ready, raring to go. Hope you had a good weekend as well, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. Hello, 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 hello. We're diving in today, chat. We're diving in today. Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, fam. Almad, how's it going? Danny, the noob, MG, Jerry, hello, hello, hello. Zitania, welcome to the stream. How's it going, guys? What's going on, Elbound, Apollo? What's going on, Gwyn? Welcome. What's going on, Thundercat? How you doing? It's good to see you guys. What's going on, MG? Welcome, welcome. TMF, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, started a little bit later today. Reason being, I could have started earlier in the end. I had a dentist appointment, was it Friday? It was just a standard, like, clean and polish kind of thing, and everything was all good. But prior to that, I'd booked an appointment, because I thought I might have needed a filling. Maybe I thought I might have had a cavity. I think I was just tripping, because there was nothing came up when I went for, like, the appointment on Friday. So I was like, I was scrambling around today to try and get it cancelled. So I could have got live a little bit earlier, but I had some stuff to do as well anyway, so it kind of worked out that it was a little bit later today. But we got some stuff to jump into today, guys. We are finally going to do it. People have been asking me to check it out for a while now. The ultimate Arknights Iceberg. We're going to be exploring it. I don't know what to expect, but I'm ready. I am ready. Leo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I've been called. I must answer always. Welcome. It's good to see ya. Hey, a funny guy. Welcome to the stream. IS 4 ending 1 is quite easy. Oh yeah, I saw you guys talking about the IS levels. Pondering your orb. You forgot you had this tab open, so when you heard the music for like I do that all the time, man. I do that all the time. Like, I'll have a live stream open on my phone sometimes, and I've got the stream muted, but then like YouTube will, like, the stream will finish and it'll go on to another video and it won't be muted, and like, the amount of times that makes me jump, especially at night when I'm lying in bed and I forgot I've done that. What's going on, Steel? Welcome to the stream. Hi, Stunny, my man. Hi, chatter person. Get your popcorn ready, fellas, right? Have you done your Woo event quests? Which one, Kathy? For the fishing? I haven't, no. I haven't. I've done the simulacra. I've just got the one left to do for that. I've done the racing. Haven't got round to doing the fishing though. I've been slacking. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, how long have I got until to get it done? We might double stream tonight and maybe dabble in that. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. We're outside of Arknights. I've started dabbling in Nikkei again. And I've been back on Reverse 1999 as well. Like, I'm being too much of a tourist at the moment. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. What's going on, Neil? Welcome to the stream. I think it's 6 days. I probably won't even get it all done in that, will I? Because, like, it's crazy amount of stuff. I just completed, well, pretty much completed. I've got some loose ends to tie up and some extra fish to catch in the Zenless Zone Zero fishing tournament. Had an absolute blast with that, actually. It was like the right combination of combat and tournament fishing. I quite like the fishing mechanic in that as well. In terms of the actual catching the fish, I think it's a little bit better than Wuthering Waves, but obviously I really like the cathartic nature of the event of Wuthering Waves, of sailing around and stuff. I really do like that. Won't be having enough free time at this rate. For real, I'm telling you. I am too much of a tourist at the moment. I'm all over the place, man, you know? I'm all over the place. I think the fishing is longer. Okay, all right, yeah, so I've done the other events. I've done like the racing one. I've done well, I've got one left to do on the simulacra, I think. I think I've pretty much done all the other time stuff in the game at the moment. I think the only one I haven't got round to now is the fishing. Yeah, is there like 23 days left on the rewards? I think, because it's like permanent, but the rewards is like 23 days left, I believe, right? I think so, anyway. But guys, if you haven't already done so, be sure to drop a like on the stream. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to everybody who's been watching the videos as well. Little quick plug, I did upload a video earlier on. It is the pinned comment in the chat, and yes, there is a typo. The video is up on the channel. I can't be able to change it. It can stay there. It can stay there. Yeah, if you haven't already, guys, check it out. Except welcome to the stream, YumUL61. Now let's go. Cafe on the grind, eh? Maintaining multiple gacha games is hard. Tell me about it. Tell me. Yeah, so at the minute, I'm currently, obviously, I'm playing Wuthering Waves, but like, I've been slacking a little bit on Wuthering Waves. I'm getting into Arknights, which I'm really kind of falling in love. Zenless, I'm cracking on with a lot of Zenless content at the moment. Not gonna, just gotta put it out there, humble brag. I did get Evelyn and her weapon. You know, just want to say it's about 110 pulls, give or take. And I've got Jane Doe, Miyabi, the weapon for Miyabi as well. Then we've got Astra Yao. Then we've got Evelyn and her weapon as well. You know, it's just a skill, guys. You know, it's just a skill. I'm telling you though, I think Zenless is sucking up all my luck. All my other games have got terrible looking at the moment. You know, I think Zenless is just like absorbing all my gacha luck into Zenless. So like all the pulls I want to get there, I'm getting them. Everywhere else, I'm just failing hard. So yeah, maybe I need to stop playing Zenless and then my luck everywhere else will get better. I don't know, maybe that's a trick. I've just been getting back into Reverse 1999 as well. I love Reverse 1999. Again, I did start Nikkei before, but we played like about 2 hours, so I'm kind of just getting back into Nikkei again. Just trying to get my head around everything. I do like Nikkei. I am playing Girls Frontline 2, but sporadically, like very sporadically. And along with sporadic play times of like PGR and solo leveling Rise as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot. As well as Tribe 9. It's a lot. So, you know, I think I need to calm down a little bit, you know? Maybe I need to plant my flag somewhere and stop being such a tourist. It's fun though, you know. You get the best, not the best of both worlds, the best of all worlds, you know. You know, it's like it's nice, man. It's nice. Get about. It's a new horizon every day, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, juggling gacha sounds like hell. It's been alright actually. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying him. Not gonna lie though, there's a game that I've been wanting to play as well. I won't stream it at all. I might stream it on my second channel. Quick plug, if you haven't checked out my second channel, More Pixel Tree, check it out. It's starting to upload on there as well. I've done a couple of streams months ago. It's called Apogia or Apogia. It's like an indie MMO, but the visuals are gorgeous. It's got like apparently it's supposed to be like another MMO called Tibia, which I've never played. A bit of like RuneScape mixed in as well. Looks kind of interesting. Definitely not for everybody. A little bit like old school and hardcore in that regard, in like how you pick quests and deal with them and everything. But it does look interesting. What's going on, Jay here? Play FGO to complete the collection. You know what? I do have it installed on my mobile. I played a little bit actually as well, along with Terror of God also. So yeah. I've also been playing Crystal of Atlan as well at the minute, but that's not a gacha game. I suppose it's got gacha elements, but it's more like, you know, it's not gacha. It's not gacha. Hi, Joel, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Jahi, welcome to the stream. Yes, we have a connoisseur. I'm doing very well today. Thank you, Hotel. Thank you. Welcome to the stream as well, Jay here. Do you like Tribe 9? I have a friend who is a fan of Dang. Yes. It's very reminiscent. If you're into that, you will find a lot of enjoyment from Tribe 9. I myself am not a connoisseur of Danganronpa, but I do like the game. It's got a cool story. The character designs are really good. The combat's actually decent as well. And like the overworld exploration, it's like the pixel art graphics, which I'm a big fan of as well. Like a big fan of. The game. I do have Limber's Company installed, but I've not started it yet. I do plan to start it actually. I do plan to start it. You know, I plan to get in there. We do. I have played a little bit of Sword of Convalaria as well. So I forgot to say Aether Gauge as well. Forgot to put that in there. Yes, she's good. So what it is basically with Elsie, if you don't know, weird conversation to get into, I know, but we'll talk about it. Dogs have anal sacs basically. So you know when they go to the toilet, they've got like these anal sacs either side of the butt, and it like lubricates when they go to the toilets, you know. And what can happen? It's quite common actually. Like I think up to like 50% of dogs suffer with it at some point. Like it can get like slightly blocked or something, and then it gets infected, and they can get like an abscess in there, and that's what happened to her. She got like an abscess, and her breed as well, apparently they're a little bit more susceptible to it, and she had an abscess and like it swelled up and that. So we took her to the vets, and they do a thing called expressing them, where like they're I don't know exactly how they do it, but they do something down there, but like that when she went last time, it was at like full. As soon as they touched it, it just came out. So she had like a little, almost like a little puncture wound, like just up, like right up, like, you know, like up and right from her bum. So she was on painkillers and antibiotics for a couple of weeks, and she had to wear, you know, the cone of shame to stop her licking herself and stuff. And it healed beautifully. It healed perfectly. There was like a little scab there, but then we noticed the other day it had opened back up again. So I don't know how she'd done it, what had happened, if she'd gone to the toilet and strained and that caused that to happen, or she'd just been licking herself or something, because she'd been in season as well. So like obviously with being in season, she's cleaning herself and all that sort of stuff. When they took her back at the vets, they expressed it again, and they said that like it had started to get another abscess there. So we don't know if they hadn't managed to get all of the infection out, and it just kind of like, you know, was from that, or it's just reoccurred, because apparently as well, once they've had it, 50% of dogs will have it again. So now it's just about like keep getting her up, making sure it's not coming back, getting them expressed on a regular basis, and like then there's a decision of if it continues to continually happen and causes issues, then she might need to have surgery to have one sac removed, which hopefully is not the case, because that can lead to like just issues later on. There is other concerns of it potentially being the C word, but like that's usually very lesser than that. Like usually it's just, you know, but like that's, if it keeps happening, then they'll start checking for that. And she's a little bit young for that anyway, because she's only 4. So, and she's just a little dog, you know, she's a Cavapoo. So like apparently Cavalier King Charles Crossy Poodles and Dachshunds are like the 2 most susceptible breeds to it as well. So yeah, it's just been one of them. But she's totally fine. You wouldn't think there's anything wrong with her. She's happy as Larry, running around, barking at the cats in the garden, eating like anything. It's just the antibiotics and the painkillers on at the moment make her a little bit sleepy, but increased her appetite. So, but she's doing good. She's in no discomfort at all. She's more than happy. We had a good cuddle on the bed last night as well, which was nice. Best of wishes to your dog. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Zane, as well. Yeah, when it initially happened, Hoito, it did. Pod as well, welcome to the stream. It did, because, like, we noticed it at first. Like, it must have swollen up really quickly, because I'm being quite anal about the dog, you know. I'm one of those, like, it's like my baby, like, checking her all the time. But, like, the one day I picked her up in the morning and I was giving her a fuss, and she was, like, a bit squirmy to get down, and I didn't take much into it. I was thinking, oh, because she was in season, she just wanted to get down to sniff at herself, because that's what she does when she's in season. But then, like, later on in the day, she just didn't want to sit down, and she just kept, like, instead of sitting down, like, leaning against the arm of the chair. And I was like, what's the matter with her? So, like, I checked down, and I was like, oh my god. And you could just see it there. It was just, like, swollen. I was just like, man, I'm going to take her to the vets right away. She's like £300 just to get the dog in the night, because it was, like, emergency hours. I was like, stuff it, don't matter. Get it sorted out, though. I think we managed to claim a bunch of it back on the insurance. I'm just waiting for the insurance payment now. try Granblue Fantasy. I have played Granblue Fantasy Relink. Gotta watch the VOD later. Got stuff to do. No worries, buddy. No worries. It'll be up on the channel anyway if you guys do miss it and you want to check it out. But yeah. Anyway, enough about dogs' bottoms. Did you guys have a good weekend? Was it a good one? Hopefully you had a good weekend. Did you get up to much? Just chilling, playing video games? What was the crack, guys? What was the deal, man? What was the deal? What was you up to? What was you up to? I didn't get a video yet. Was it yesterday as well? Yesterday it was the Arknights Enfield video as well. Just talking about that potentially being the best gacha of 2025. Casual weekend relaxing. Nice. My weekend was super busy with academics and stuff. The usual. Okay. Getting on the grind. I respect it. I work weekend, so it's work for me. Okay. Absolutely well. Some hiccups, but mostly fine. Okay. Finishing a uni project about climate adaptation. Adaptation, on the Bahamas. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I got a boring one without someone having some stuff to do. Okay. Been grinding PGR to get alpha skin next patch. Fairs. I like it. A different kind of grind, but nonetheless respectable. Yeah, I did I've actually a bit of a Zenless yesterday. Actually, I was trying to get through the fishing event, and I was trying to pull for Evelyn's weapon, and I've just been trying to build Evelyn up a little bit. She's partially built now. I just need to get a disc drive that's by a bonus on the 50 drive. So that's kind of like I've been trying to farm for one of those at the minute, and I just keep getting attack, which I don't need. College busy as usual, drawing a certain cat sickness diagram from now. I think I got carried away when I'm drawing the cat though. What's going on, Chesterton? Okay, alright. Nice, varied, I like to see. Yeah, man, I didn't really do much. Like, we went out for food on Saturday. It was nice. Went out with my sister and my brother-in-law, so it was just nice to hang out with my sister. Have a proper evening out, me and Rosie, chill as well. Had the first beer as well within a month. I only had 2 beers, and then I came home in the evening. We went to the garage and got some non-alcoholic beer. I've been a good boy, chat. I've been a good boy. I'm trying to get on the grind again now, though, to lose some weight for a holiday. Get my protein up as well. Had chicken, 3 eggs, and a protein shake this morning. And then I'm going to have a high-protein dinner later as well. Got my collagen shakes, everything. I couldn't train today, though. But tomorrow, back at it. Can't wait to get back to it for Granblue, where the true grind begins. Work's been chilling for a while after a busy month last February, so I'm cool. Nice. Oh, yeah, I've been making some bad decision 2 days ago, but I'm well recovered from that. Hey, it happens, right? It happens. Yeah, I decided to, I didn't do dry January. I thought I'll do dry February. Kind of a little life hack, it's a shorter month, so that way then you don't have to go so long. But like, after not having any alcohol at all for like the month, like having some when we're out, I was like, I didn't really fancy it, I was like, you know what, stuff it. I don't want to go totally dry until holiday, because I'm obviously going to drink on holiday, and I think if I don't drink at all prior to holiday, I'm just going to get smashed on holiday, and I don't want that to happen. So I got to like prep my body. I got to have like a pre-beer prep before the holiday, having a couple of days drinking here and there just so I'm ready for when I get on holiday. So I don't want to pass out in the afternoon. The bar's going to be open early, so it's like, we're in the sun, get the beers on, you know what I mean? Gonna just lurk for now because I have instant noodles right on my PC and desk. I'm not gonna spill it. No worries. Yeah, I've tried to stop eating at my desk now, actually, to be fair. Just in regards to like your keyboards start to get messy, don't you? I feel you there. So we're doing Iceberg today. Is there gameplay later on? Well, it depends on how long it goes for, actually. So it's what, 1 now. We'll get into things in a minute. That's like a 2-hour, 20-minute video. It just depends on how much I pause and yap, I guess, doesn't it, really? And I did want to check out some skins as well. I wanted to check out some of the skins as well. So if you don't get into any gameplay tomorrow we will do gameplay. Because the plan is I am going to double dip today. I don't know if to stream on my main channel or just on the second channel. But like, I do want to do some ZZZ, some reverse 1999. And I really should start grinding through the fishing event in Wuthering Waves as well. I need to. And I've still not done the main quest of 2.1 also, or Carlotta's companion quests. I still haven't even done encores, man. I am a fake gamer, guys. That's it. I'm a fake gamer, you know. It's a good mentality. Live, experience a life, visit a country, go on a hike, right? Yeah, I can't wait to get away again. I think me and Rosie are going to plan a city break again later on in the year. We was on about going to Amsterdam, maybe, but I think we might just go to London again. Like going down London. Yes, we can check Skinny Gate. There's a website as well, isn't there? I forgot what it's called. It's what's it called now? I have got it saved somewhere. There's a website you can check them on as well. Yeah, but yeah, we can check them in game as well. You can look at the brands, can't you? Let's go on a Nact. Welcome to the stream. Real gamer of 24 hours. Time only for game. Right. Start sniffing Adderall, right? Bottles in the room, so you don't need to get to the bathroom. It's just non-efficient, man. You know, how can you min-max when you got to get to the toilet? A-ship get up. It might be something like that. The website is not as efficient as the in-game one. Yeah, we could just do the in-game. Yo, Nickfy, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. No, you're not late. We just started. We haven't really got any fit round to anything yet. I've just been chatting shit, you know. Usual. Yapping, really. But yeah, guys, FYI, I have uploaded a video today. It's pinned comment at the top of the chat. As I said, there's a typo. We're going to leave it there, you know. It's character, right? It's character. So yeah, check that out if you want to check that out. And like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, guys, it's much appreciated. Should we get things started then? Let's get going. Man, I need to get my hair cut, man. Like, I was supposed to get my hair cut Saturday as well. And everything with the dog and everything. It was just like, I can't do that. I've got to try and get booked in this week to get my hair cut. Because it's... I'm getting Lego head. Because my hair, it starts to grow and then all of a sudden it just goes, and it just gets super thick. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get started then. You need to click character one by one on the website while in game. All skin has their own list, slide and group nicely in their own. Yeah, I saw that. I clicked on that actually. I was like, that's kind of cool actually. I can see what people are saying now when they go, oh, Arknights, man. It's just Hypergryph. It's just a clothing company and a music company. They have gone hard into like the brand side of things, haven't they, in the game? Kind of cool that is as well. Yeah, what's going on, Higa? Welcome to the stream, or Higa. I do apologise if I butchered your name. You need, yeah, I just read that. I'm so used to watching the VOD that I forgot this was live. Well, welcome to the live side of things then. Hello. I'm only 46 hours to do gaming. It's quite a decent time for reading sessions. Yeah, 46 hours is plenty, isn't it, really? You know, it's plenty. To be fair, like, a lot of the days, right, outside of streaming, like, I haven't been gaming as much as I could, especially with all the gacha games I've got on the go as well, and doing other games. Like, I'm finishing streaming, I go get Rosie from work, come back, I usually have tea. I'm usually just kind of watching YouTube, or I'll, you know, watch something on the TV while waiting for tea and having tea. Then, like, I'll either go and have a shower or something, and then, like, I'll procrastinate for, like, an hour or two, and then I'll start gaming around about 9 o'clock, and I usually game till then, like, till about 11. But it's not even, like, a hard session. It's kind of, like, interspersed with watching videos and getting distracted. You know what I mean? I'm probably just like, ooh, piece of candy. Like, I can't help it. So... Yo, Shy, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hello. Can I suggest a song? Wet Guess for them cinch. Zero for them. I don't know what that says. It's the last Steam night boss theme. Okay, alright, okay. Only issues in game, you can't see how the unit looks with the skin. You don't own the units. Oh, so you just get like the artwork basically then. I can totally see you 2 hours into the stream yapping there, starting the iceberg. Yeah, totally enjoyable though. I suppose it's a good skill to have as a streamer sometimes, but yeah, I can't help it, man. I just I suppose I procrastinate even when I'm working, you know. And on a bad day, go down to 1 hour, maybe not at all. Yeah, for real, I'm telling you. I am a master procrastinator. I am. I really am. It's a highly developed skill that I've honed my entire life, you know. It's worked out, man. It's worked out for me. I'm not gonna lie. You know. It's got its pros and it's got its cons. I'm lucky I've got an exceptionally patient girlfriend, or fiance, should I say, who's brilliant. Otherwise, you know, I'll be done for. Neo, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, Mister. How's it going, Squire? No fag dice came today. Hey, well, Drakes, this is a good thing, right? This is a hack. If we don't play the game, she don't die. Right. And then that way then. I don't know what you guys. What you do? What you can do? You need to procrastinate procrastination. Right. I need to hold it off somehow, don't I? It's like, how do I do that? You gotta think it through, man. Honestly, I wish someone made a second part for the Iceberg video, not even close to half of what the iconic Arknights fan base experience. Good evening, Chocolate. Welcome to the stream. Oh my, how lucky you are. Oh, I definitely am with my missus, man. She puts up with all my crap. You know, she like, man, she's paid to take me to things like Eurogamer, Comic-Con, and she's not even interested in these things. You know, stood for hours in queues while she watches me play video games that are not even out yet. Like, it's, you know, I am lucky. I am very lucky. Probably could Leo, to be fair. I'd probably bring my dog in here and she'd do a better job if I'm honest. You know? You doing well? I'm doing good, thank you, dude. I was going to Korean. I just finished class in time for peak. I hope you had a good class. Skin in Arknights are goated. Welcome to the stream, Maniac. Marin, what mic do I use? This is just a blue Yeti. Yeah, it's a blue Yeti, but I've just got like a fucking... So it's kind of like a sock, but it's not a sock. It was like, it's about the same as a sock, really, but it's not a sock. It came with this, I can't remember what it came with then. It had some wires in it or something, but I think it is a sock, man. I think they just literally sent it in a sock. I can't remember what it was for now. I can't remember what I bought, and it came in the box with it, like, but I'm sure they just packaged it as a sock. But it's a super thin sock if it's a sock, anyway. Yeah, dude, that intro got me, man. It was a good one, that was. What are we checking out today? Today, we are checking out the big one. We're checking out the big one, the chunker boy from Sunil, exploring the ultimate Arknights Iceberg. Chat, that's what we're getting in. We haven't started it, not yet, no, so Gacha. I've been yapping. This will be good for the background while I do my assignments after lunch. Nice. Nah, the mic didn't break. Haven't got it. The standard, the bracket broke on it, like. So it was either like you had to wedge it and you couldn't move it, otherwise it'd just flop around, like, you know what I mean? The other mic, that one, the brackets broke on that as well, but that one's where it like connects to the actual roller boom arm, so the mic just flops around, just goes limp. You know what I mean? Hi, and Shell, welcome to the stream. No, you're not late. The best and worst of the community. Ah, talking about that, have you seen the PvP going on in Wuthering again? You know, Historical Archives, welcome. Like, I've had like a week or so off Wuthering Waves, and it's like everybody's at each other's throat again, aren't they, over this Brant situation? And I'm just like, who cares? Who cares? I just don't care. I think it might happen today, actually, you know, Karga. I'm not too sure. I think you have to have spent your currency by today, right? If I believe so, to get it back. I think that's the deal. Chunky video, it's a chunky video. Bring out your popcorn, people. I wish I got some popcorn. I ate my popcorn the other night like a fat git, though. All these years, and I think you switch to your condenser mic. Nah, bro, I'm a scrib, man. I'm using old school tech here. I do want to get a Shure, though. I want to get one of the, what is it, the Shure MB7 or something. Yeah, like, they've been going at each other, like, everybody's arguing about people misinformation, people doing 2-hour streams on a particular plunge animation of Brant and talking about, oh, they changed everything, he's been nerfed, this, that, the other. But, like, I'm just like, man, the Wuthering Waves community recently, it's either your average content creator, the last 10 videos, 9 of them, I'm hating on Genshin, and then the other 2 are just arguing with other content creators in the space. It's just like, yo, let's talk about the game, man. You know? Can we talk about the game? But, you know, that's Gacha for you, right? That's Gacha for you, I guess. Yeah, that way free looks a nice mic, though, actually, to be fair. Oh, you got chips and an ice cream. I'm jealous. I had a Snickers just. I had a Snickers before stream. Yeah, for real, JA, man. It's crazy, like, don't get me wrong, I know the Genshin community can be insane. Like, I think when you talk about the peak levels of insanity, I think the Genshin community probably has everyone beat. But in terms of the continual, constant rumbling, like, the Wuthering community seems to be the one that's always fighting somebody. And I don't mean the community itself. It's more the content creator community. Do you know what I mean? When I finish my instant noodles, I'll still lurk anyway. Seem to be, I'll be staying silent for most of the time. All good, ploy, all good. A lot of people do the same. I'm exactly the same. 99% of the streams I hang around in, I'm just hanging around, you know. Yeah, it's been going off between. I know, I know it's calmed down a bit with Saint, with CJ, and then, about 5 other people got involved. I know some people have took some stuff back, and then obviously, you know who else got involved. Fox was getting involved because he can't help himself, can he? I've seen some other people, and Saint was going and getting involved with some other content creator as well, apparently. And there was a couple of others. I'm just like, whatever. I ain't interested, man. It's like such a minute thing as well. It's just like, let's just wait for the character to come out, and then we'll see what the problem is. To me, it just looks like maybe a bit of a scuffed hitbox that happened. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm skipping the dude anyway, so it don't bother me. You know what I mean? That's a Pantarella Master Race, baby. Let's go. You know what I mean? Too much heat into the discussion. Yeah. New one hit over 270 views on both Stoked and... Oh, let's go, bro. I think that might have been the one I seen yesterday. Was that the one I watched yesterday? No, it was the other one, wasn't it? I started watching that one. That was the review, yeah. When I looked at that had done 100 plus views. I was like, damn, killing it. Exactly, yeah. I agree with that, Corin, yeah. Nobody's new. Elitist versus elitist. Yeah, man, it's definitely a thing. Like, you know, and the thing is, a lot of the time, the Wuthering CC community and the community itself loves to play this part that they're like the same people in the gacha space. And I'm like, I don't know. Gacha player comment title PD, if they can make their gacha the only right answer, they feel like they achieved something. Sadly, a lot of people can't just ignore each other. Yeah, and even then, like, I think it's this idea that, like, there's no subjective viewpoints on games. Like, people have got this idea just because something's bad in their eyes, which there are a lot of bad things in a lot of gacha games. We're in gacha, for God's sake, you know, there's a lot of flashy elements to them, isn't there? There's spectrums, of course, but just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, man. You know what I mean? You can still play Wuthering. Don't get me wrong, I love Wuthering Waves, and there's a large part, and I don't want to tar the old community. Again, it's mainly the CC space, if I'm honest. And hey, look, I'll dabble in a little bit of it sometimes, you know. It's kind of fun, but sometimes it's just like, can we do something else now? You know? I was going to say, that really, the only person I've been watching recently who kind of does Wuthering is Genazad and Ryuku Sensei. Everybody else I've kind of not been watching. Not because I'm like, oh, don't want to watch them anymore, but it's just kind of been like that. Hey, Kane, welcome to the stream. I don't think there is a sane community in Gacha. Probably a fair point. Probably a fair point. Do you reckon CCs have a server dedicated to Planet Drama like they have a monthly quota? I don't know necessarily that, but obviously you get like clicks in content creator spaces. Like, I've been in them, you know. Back in the day when YouTube gaming first started, I was in a massive space with like a bunch of content creators. You might not have heard of him. One of them's like, he's got millions of subs now, like Creekcraft. There was probably 50 people in this space. There was YouTube employees in there and everything. You know, and that got very clicky. I didn't like it. And I think there's these groups and they bounce off each other. I don't know if they're necessarily, you know, a lot of the time stuff's planned. It's just, it happens, I guess, less naturally because they're conversating in private. And I guess, you know, they're talking about things, other people, and they maybe kind of make stuff in unison out in that regard, if that makes sense. Probably is some people who do plan stuff behind closed doors, though, that, you know, this is just for jokes kind of thing, because it's happened in the past. Exactly, yeah, exactly, Corey, yeah. That's why I think it suits me perfectly, you know? It suits me perfectly. Yeah, chocolate, we're ready to go. Probably the guys that play their porno games, I know they're playing slop. Yo, do you know one of the most chilliest communities? ZZZ community just seems to keep themselves to themselves. I think it's because they're gooning all the time and just jerking off to the game. So they ain't mad. They get off the game. They're like, I ain't got time for this. I'm going to bed. You know what I mean? And I know I've heard some horror stories about parts of the Arknights community. But one thing I will say is, so far since starting Arknights, you guys have been awesome. I must say. You've been like really, really chill. 99% of my interactions with the Arknights community so far have been really positive. So, you know. Then again, though, I don't know if it's just the kind of people I attract. Most of my interactions in majority of the gacha space is quite chill, if I'm honest. I think most of my negative interactions have come from Wuthering waves, but that's because that's primarily been the content, you know, that I've been doing recently. So I suppose I'm seeing more of those, more people coming through from that community. I was Taiwan Genshin. I quit 2 years ago because, well, something, of course. Not like we know for sure anyway. The community needed to mature on their reaction to drama. See, like, for me, I don't mind having discourse and discussions, you know? But sometimes it's just when the back and forth doesn't stop and it starts to escalate and it's just like, guys, come on, man, you know? I get it. I understand it, you know? And talking about negative parts of a game isn't drama, but it's like, sometimes people just drag it out. It's just like, it gets to a point and it's just like, oh, there's really cool things in the game, but we're talking about this again. Yeah, one does usually need an app after rubbing one out, right? Zizi, you also got many hentais, right? You played a game for a little bit, you're like, right, let's get on the net. I'm done. I don't need to argue with anybody about what game's better. Exactly, Hyto, right? It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It could be, couldn't it? At the moment, though, they seem pretty chill. I'm sure there's no cases, of course, there's going to be. Of course, there's going to be. We're gaslighting you with the kindness until you sink deeper. Right? Right. He's in too deep now. He can't escape. Get him. Yeah, agree, Karka. I think there's a lot of straw manning that happens as well. You know, there's what it doesn't annoy me because nothing annoys me in this space because there's real life outside that's real. You know what I mean? I don't get, like, even when I'm talking about these, it doesn't frustrate me. It's just boring sometimes. Sometimes it's fun. I like watching drama like everybody else. It's nice to get your popcorn out and watch a fight happen. You know, watching two monkeys go at it on a boat. It's like, hey, let's enjoy this, man. It's kind of funny. But the straw manning sometimes when people are trying to make out that people are making arguments that they're not making. It's like, come on, man. Let's have some. And you know what as well? It's when people are always like, let's debate it. Let's debate it. Like, can't we just have a conversation? Because to me, when you set things up as it's a debate, then there's got to be this victor. Well, I won that conversation. It's like, can we just like talk about video games? Why does it have to be a debate? Because I think it frames conversations kind of in a crappy way, entering the conversation. Personally, I'm not a fan of that sort of stuff. But anyway, fuck all that shit. We're here for the iceberg, guys. Okay, we're here for the iceberg. I've not suffered too bad with Kurobot, so yeah, the Arknights community's been chill. Those gacha communities that don't do drama and most of the gooning ones, true. Yeah, hey, why are you going to be getting into drama when you're gooning? Ain't got time for that, right? Yeah, probably primary. The thing is, I suppose nothing really affects me because I come from old school Call of Duty and Halo days, and I remember the times when it was like lobbies were unhinged, especially on PlayStation back in the day in COD because there was no party chat, so everybody was hot micing, and it got spicy. You know, CS:GO, Valorant as well, spicy games. So yeah, it's funny most of the time. I find it funny. I honestly do find it funny most of the time. I'll lurk in people's chats when they're having a rant about stuff. And I do find it funny. Anyway, guys, shall we get into this video then? Let's have a drink of the Coke. Let's get into it, yeah? Well, COD lobbies were mainly just full of racism. It's mainly what a Call of Duty lobby was back in the day. Just unfiltered, hardcore racism. Everybody was catching strays. You know, it wasn't a particular race that was focused on. Everybody was catching strays. You know, if you was English and you was in a lobby with English people, depending on your accent, you was getting roasted because of that. It's, you know, everything and anything really. Okay then. All right. Let's clear my throat. Let's get ready. Let's get ready, chat. Let's get ready. Get ready. If you haven't already, hit the like. Okay. Let's clear that out. You have a banana. Healthy. Potassium. I like it. All right then, guys. Let's get into it then. The one a lot of people have been asking for me to check out. One I've actually been waiting for to watch as well. We've just needed to try and prep some time to actually watch the video because it's a chunky boy. A chonker boy. 2 hours, 17 minutes, guys. This is from Sunil or Tsunil. I'm not too sure how you pronounce the name. Exploring the ultimate Arknights Iceberg. As we continue to learn more about the iceberg. Well, we're going to learn about the iceberg. The Arknights universe, the lore, the community, the history. I'm here for it all. So let's delve in more. Let's get into it then, guys. Let's give it a preemptive like. This video did numbers, 250,000 views. Banger video. Let's go. Let me know if the audio levels are all good as well, chat, and let's dive in, shall we? The deep
Now I'm gonna
dive.
keep it 100 with you. Before making this video, I was 1000% sure an Arknights Iceberg had already existed. I was sure someone had made a video about it or somebody already made the de facto iceberg. But from what I've seen, the only iceberg video is about the base system, which is quite honestly based. And any other icebergs I've seen are either focusing on one topic instead of the whole community or a couple of years old. And because of that, I've decided to make this the ultimate Arknights Iceberg. I wanted to cover most things about the community and the game itself. So to do this, I asked my Discord, Twitter, Reddit, Rule34, but above all...
Man, her feet may be amazing, but I'm making the ultimate Arknights Iceberg and need suggestions on what to add. Okay, so we're going into everything here then, right? We're going into everything here. Okay, all right, I'm ready.
I also checked out other
I'm
icebergs.
ready. I don't know if I am ready.
So before getting into it, you can find all the other icebergs I've used to make this video linked in the description. And I would also like to thank everyone in my Discord who helped add segments to this and provided explanations to the things I had
so it's community,
about,
so
with all that being said, let's get into the iceberg, starting with layer 7. So, ex-wife, let's talk about it. It's a meme that was made around when the game released. The joke was that since Kelsey talks to the doctor in a, colorful way, she was a doctor's wife in the past. And pretty soon the community ran with the meme, making art about it, jokes that she's the doctor's ex-wife and is jealous that the doctor will not only continue the bloodline, but will continue multiple bloodlines. However, we now know the truth about Kelsey's feelings. Turns out, she wasn't a tsundere after
Hey, I'm not saying anything, but it's kind of based if he did.
After all, she just fucking hated
Video's
us.
quite old, so some stuff is outdated. That's all good, so good.
So, all in all, she wasn't the doctor's ex-wife. However, future wife is still kinda on the table. And let's talk about the doctor's donkey, I mean daughter now. So the meme of Ami being a donkey and W being a cockroach is really easy to explain. It exists because of Ami's 10-foot long TV antenna ears that makes her look like a donkey. And in the case of W, she just is a cockroach. Currently getting hunted down by Melantha with her skill. Which is a meme unintentionally made by Kyo. They make guides for Arknights using low rarity units, and since Melantha is a really strong 3-star, she appears in most of them. And in those guides, you can be sure to hear... He said it so much to where whenever the community activates her skill, his voice faintly plays in the background. He's pretty much...
They should put that in the game. The best donkey. Best donkey.
Now let's talk about Billy. Long story short, it's basically Chinese YouTube.
She just hates us.
The reason I bring it up is because...
That's perfect then, Paradigm. Trust me, when you've been in a long-term relationship, you'll understand that. You'll be like, yeah, this fits the wife meta, this does here. I get it.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The creators on that platform go kinda wild. There are so many high quality videos uploaded about Arknights daily. Now I mean, I can't understand a word that is being said, but at the same time, this is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. And
it's good for animations as well.
Gameplay, yet here it is. So they need to be included because even though most Western fans may not go on Bilibili or understand the videos on it, the amount of memes and genuinely amazing creations on it is a...
How many of you guys actually dabble in Bilibili from time to time? Do you ever I hop on now and again, especially if it's just like a more animated stuff. But obviously the language barrier is a problem, so you know I can't really dabble.
Gigantic part of the community. By the way, those videos are linked in the description. So continuing the bloodlines is a meme so large that if you told me you haven't heard it, then I would shoot
a lot of you guys do.
As there's a 99% chance you are an alien imitating human speech. The meme came from Resident Evil on how Chris Redfield really wants his sister to have a wholesome time with Leon S. Kennedy. And the Arknights community evolved this meme to never before seen heights. In fact, it'd be easier to say that if a bloodline exists, someone has drawn a comic of the Doctor wanting to continue it. The Neurals, the Royal Banshees, Silver Ash, Amina's sisters, Astasia the Swede, that's right, literal gods in hell, in-game, even a whole...
What's going on with that? It's broke.
The community's logic is literally, if a bloodline exists, then someone needs to continue it. But if everyone's bloodline wishes came to fruition, then by...
Hey, if someone's got to do it, right? why not be the Dakota? You know, it's hey, if we're there, you know.
At the end of Arknights, half of terror is gonna come from the
This
Doctor.
was a
And
goated
quite honestly,
cutscene, actually, or trailer.
that shit would be peak writing.
Animation,
Actually,
whatever you want to
Hypergryph
call
needs
it.
do that. Speaking of peak, Wheels, let's talk about them. So Wheels is someone who draws and animates a ton of things, mostly pertaining to Arknights. And their animations are, well, yeah, let me just say this. There's a
I have seen one of these. I actually watched this one, I think. I watched this Doc's Operation Base Point. Yeah, I've seen this one. Okay, cool.
reason they're at the top of the iceberg. Everyone's seen them. Like, deadass, I got friends who ain't even heard of Arknights
Someone's
before.
gotta continue
Hell, they
the
refer to it
bloodline.
as
Unzip
Ark of
zipper.
the Knights, and them motherfuckers still know about W Dance. Possibly because I always spam the skill issue gif of her dance to them, but that's besides the point. Everyone knows about Wheels' drawing, so much to the point where they actually worked
We
with
need to get some
Yostar and did the
Arknights emotes
animations
on the
for
channel
a
for
fair bit of
members.
live streams. So it's pretty normal to say that they are one of the most well-known artists in the community. And little
Oh, that's
side note, the Shadowbringers animation they did is my favorite. They absolutely cooked in that one. And the idea of Amiya being the Warrior of Light is perfect because hearing her say this line would make me reach Nirvana. That shit would be funny
No,
as
I'll
hell.
kill your
Almost
god
as
if I
funny
have
as
to.
the,
That does go hard.
Translations, unfortunately. Now, many people know this, but Arknights has had a few, maybe more than a little few, moments where the translations wasn't precisely the most clear thing known to man.
Hey, I think that's par for the course. And coming from Wuthering Waves, I'm used to that. That's kind of like a meme in the Woower space now, you know? Expect translation issues, spelling mistakes, sentences just kind of not making sense sometimes. Even weapon banners literally telling ya the weapon does something, it doesn't. So then Japan goes out and gets the weapon and we all get free pull currency for it, which I was happy about that. That was pretty nice, actually. I was like, sweet, didn't affect me. Got free pull currency, though.
Man, yeah, I'ma stop beating around the bush. That shit was kinda ass at times. Now, this isn't me talking shit. Some of these chapters have a larger word count than a book, and a new event is dropped
Insane.
bare minimum once a month. So it's entirely understandable to have mistranslations, and the most recent chapters have had much better quality in my opinion. Bar the whole 4 attack is physical damage 120% times translation that happened fairly recently. But yeah, in the past there were a lot of cases of pretty fucking funny translation errors or times where the tutorial was kinda, not in English. And let's not forget the birth of, or my personal favorite, Annihilatio. All in all, I kinda like the translation errors because, you know, they make me laugh. Yosar should
I like it. It's almost, it's European, right? European?
do more of them. Yo, hell, sign me up for the translation team. In a week, all the players will be wondering why every event
Feel
culminates in
cultured,
saying that Exia
you know?
is the best waifu. And on the topic of best girl, let's talk about the man that can become them all, Thorns. So Thornification is a name heralded by the people of the community, used to describe a process that rivals the power of God. It is a phenomenon
Okay.
that describes how every waifu, not only in Arknights, but in other games as well, how they all turn into thorns.
That's a good
Where
point,
it came
Nick V,
from,
actually, yeah.
nobody knows why it's done, nobody knows what's the meaning of it. Well, we all know that. It's because Thorns is pretty damn hot. Hell, it got so big to where Blue Archive even made one of its official characters look like Thorns. This is not
Okay.
misinformation, I swear.
Insane.
It's as true as 1/7 being the endgame content for Arknights.
I've seen
Now, if you
people
somehow don't know,
commenting
1/7
that in
is
my
the
comments.
stage that gives you these rocks. Thing is, you need roughly a million of these rocks, which causes 99% of players to just auto this stage when there's no event going on. Everyone eats the rocks. It's unavoidable. And this is by far the best stage to get them. Therefore, if you
Like
play
Oprah.
Arknights until the rock
Everybody gets
mines
one.
you go. And
Or a
you can also
million.
use them to make rolls, but that process is largely not worth it. Doing that shit is kinda a lap dumb moment, which would be this phase. Consequently, this is also the face I make when I avoid farming 1/7 and can suddenly not raise any operators due to a rock deficiency. But it was made for this art trip by this person, and since it was funny as fuck, the community started using it everywhere. Now, we're talking about lap dumb, let's talk about one of the dumbest times for the
We've got, again, you got that in Woower. Cal Charles become that meme now.
entirety of the community. So after the first anniversary live stream, there
We
was
eat,
a
we
secret
sleep, we
outro.
mind the
And
rocks.
This outro displayed the art of 6
Hey,
future
what's going on, Billy
characters
Bob?
yet to be released. Thorns, Mountain, Golden Glow, a Cheeto, Suitor, and Saga. And where the entire community got played for fools, kind of their own making, was Golden Glow. The only thing we had to go
Okay.
off of was this little art of hers. She appeared nowhere else prior to this. And people started saying how she looks like Korone due to her dog
She
ears.
a hairdresser?
And since we didn't know her name, people either called her Pink Dog or Pink Korone. And this was
Pink
her name
Dog?
for a long time. The thing
Yes,
is,
it
that
works.
reveal was around April 27, 2020. We didn't get her banner until February 15th, 2022. It took almost 2 years between when she was revealed and when we got her. And when she was revealed, the
Bro. 2 years in between the reveal and the banner. That's I'm at this point again. Sorry to keep going back to Wuthering Waves. It's the easiest, comparison for me because I play a lot of it. I feel like that's what's going to happen with Zani, man. She just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. It's going to be like 2027 by the time she comes out.
NDA was lifted, and that's when her artist
That's insane.
Nami opened the floodgates. For damn near 2 years, every single person in the community was calling her Pink Dog. We thought she was a dog. Then Nami came in and revealed the truth no one was remotely ready for. She was a cat. She had to sit back and watch everyone call her daughter a dog as she was under NDA and was unable to reveal the truth, that she was instead a Scottish fold cat. Now,
it's got to be the biggest offense for a cat then, yeah.
Defense of the community,
she got done
Scottish
dirty.
fold cats are like fucking dog weeaboos, so I think we get a pass on that one. But that is what birthed the legend of Pink Corone. On the topic of not fully understanding who or what an operator is, let's talk about Ansel. Now, say it with me. I know you're thinking it. Would. But before Art on Rule 34 reveals this to you,
we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
Let me either break your heart
we're not
or
gonna talk about
make
it.
you reach nirvana. It kind of depends on the person. Now, Ansel has beautiful pink hair, some of the prettiest.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about this one, chat. Okay, I got baited. All right, we won't discuss it.
Art in the game.
Mistakes
and
are
is
made.
all around peak, but he's a guy. Now at that, you are either like this or like this. Now, depending on the person, either you're welcome or you should have been gay. Skill issue to be.
They'll get called out hard. Oh my days. I can't even escape it either. I can't even pretend it didn't happen. I got caught live, exposed in 4K.
Be honest. Speaking of skill, let's talk about 1Ps.
If there's a whole,
self-imposed challenge where you're only able to have out one character at a time. Is there any reason to do it?
What does it say? You don't look at the fireplace when you're stoking the fire?
Nah. Does it look cool as shit? You're goddamn right it does. So 1Ps are literally just a genre of a way to clear stages. I mean, there's many different genres. Either Defender Knights, where you only use Defender.
We stream, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
To be imposed on oneself, you can be assured that the Arknights community has done it. This is the most productive masochism I have ever seen. I never thought clearing a stage while only using one tile would be something people thought to do, but I'll be damned if it ain't kinda amazing to watch. Something else that's amazing though
watched that
is
video the other day. That was insane.
Let's be honest, we've all seen them. I ain't really gotta explain what the beans are. Hell, I've seen more art of the beans than regular art of the Swee siblings, which then made me question something. Who made them? I thought Wheels did, as they've done some bean-oriented animations for live streams, but when I asked them about it,
they look like axes. Have you guys ever heard of a game called Axie Infinity? It's like a blockchain game. They look like axes. They do a little bit.
They said that South AC made them. Then I went to ask South AC about it, but yeah. So instead I messaged them on Pixiv and found out 10 days later that the last time they uploaded on Pixiv was a year ago. So they probably ain't ever gonna see that message. In terms of my non-interview sleuthing, I couldn't find any art they've done of the beans. So if I were to hold a guess, I'd say that they were commissioned to do it for official merch. Regardless, they're the creator of the beans we all love, so make sure to follow them, especially because their Sinclair art is peak. And
yeah, let me quickly show you for the people who haven't seen it. Let me show you. Let me show you. They're kind of similar, yeah. Right? What do you reckon? The beans. I like that. This game was quite big, actually. This was like the biggest blockchain game for a while. I think it might still be the biggest blockchain game, actually. But you'd use like I think it was on Ethereum. You'd use like, I don't know exactly how it worked, but like you could merge them and like evolve them kind of thing like, and then you'd battle them. I can't remember if it was actual NFTs or it was just literally running on Ethereum, or it might be running on Solana. I'm not too sure. I can't remember if it was actually NFT based. It could be. There probably is. But you could sell them. I know that. So yeah, there probably are NFTs if you could sell them, because they're going to need smart contracts. So yeah, probably, yeah. Did he fall off, did he?
Is the last node of layer
Not surprising.
1 is Mastima's
Most Web3 games are shit anyway.
I'm not gonna cap, saying that out loud was much weirder than I thought it would be. So the premise of this one is simple. Mastima has a blue tongue. Why? Well, her lead artwork shows it to be bare minimum canon. Now, if you ask me why it's blue instead of, well, fucking not blue, I really cannot give you an answer. Most I can say is...
Was that one of those in bed with a halo then?
Complaining. Let's move on to layer 2, instant noodles, which describes the harrowing, evil, and downright insane action the doctor did. The action was putting instant noodles in their mouth, still solid mind you, then taking boiling water and dumping that into their mouth, which then instantly cooked the stale noodles, which were then eaten. Now, that is optimal, but it's also pretty fucking crazy. Cherry on top of it is, apparently, this shit was done at 4 a.m. Kelsey was the one who specified that, and she even went so far as to say that the doctor...
That was the SLP, yeah. And you definitely didn't lose money on it. Yeah, I've never dabbled in any, like, I own a bunch of different currencies, I do. I own a bunch of different, like, altcoins, everything, but I've never dabbled in any actual crypto games, to be fair.
Doctor was really good at it.
Optimal.
Which means not only was this shit done once, it was done enough to get good at it. Now you may think to yourself, this is but a simple jab at the doctor by their ex-wife. Yeah, no, it was confirmed in Shirayuki's operator record. In fact, she even called it genius. So yes, this shit is canon, and the hot water kettle from Fugmas even has this description on it. So all in all, the
doctor is a masochist then, yeah? Like, it sounds like the kind of dude who likes to have his balls stepped on, if he's doing that sort of shit, bro. That's insane.
Doctor is fucking crazy, but not as crazy as Skelter. She was not only the first live-duty operator or the first ultra form of an operator, she was also the first operator who came from a different time. Now that sounds amazing. Truly a monumental moment in Arknights' history, something the cult of Scotty can be fully and entirely proud of. But this is Arknights, nothing is happy forever. Or, hell, nothing is happy, period. The thing is, Skelter is from a different timeline, in which she joined the hive mind of the Seaborn as their god, Ashar-Mla. That's able to happen because even though Ashar-Mla was hunted and killed by the Abyssal Hunters in the past, after the battle was done, its blood went into Scotty's wounds, causing it to lie dormant within her. And if Scotty embraces her Seaborn blood, that will result in her kind of pulling an Eren Jaeger and killing like 9...
I don't even think you need to do that, Renegade, being able to do that. Dude's got to have a tongue like asbestos. I would imagine that would be, like, concrete, man. I don't think it'd be pleasant for anybody.
80% of the people in the world. This text explains it all. Basically, Terra finally fucking came together for once and threw everything they had at the Seaborn. The Grand Knights, the Emperor's Blades, the Apostolic Gun Knights of Laterana, the Golden Gods of Leithania, the weapons of mass destruction created by Columbia, the ancient arts of Sami, and the leadership of Yan, keeping the crumbling nations standing together. Yet, they were not a match for the Seaborn at all. Humanity only got a singular city to survive in, a stronghold, after Kelshi begged the Firnamuts, the Beastmasters, and used all ancient technologies just to build a last stand against the Seaborn. A race of creatures that are a hive mind which evolves after any combat encounter, spreading their knowledge on how to kill whatever hunts them. And Skelter is leading them all so she can reach the Doctor. Reason is because she loves the Doctor, which then caused an obsession when she turned into Ashar-Mla, where she wanted to be with them at the cost of humanity. All of it. And her voice lines confirm that even with the last city, the Abyssal Hunters have died, and so have Kelshi and Amia. In fact, all the Doctor's friends have died. Skelter is the worst possible timeline that can happen. If she becomes Ashar-Mla, then everyone will die. The Seaborn are just too strong. In a nice 3 ending, we see...
That's what the animation, like the alternative version, like, yeah? Yeah.
Best Boy Mizuki pull up and save humanity, but if he hadn't done that, everyone would die. But that's a different timeline from the Skelter one. Thankfully, though, canonically, neither of these timelines have happened. Granted, it still always can. Scotty's kind of a ticking time bomb. But since this topic is a little too depressing, let's move on to the person who made our savior Mizuki. As I said prior, Nami is the artist of Mizuki and Golden Glow, basically their mother. And my lord, she shows her motherly love often. On her Twitter, which you should follow by the way, you can see many posts where she asks about Mizuki and Golden Glow. Either plushies of Mizuki, advertisements of Golden Glow, Risk 18 clears with them, or Mizuki's soft armpits. And also Mizuki in a maid outfit, and...
Okay. Wasn't expecting that.
Yes, this is peak. We need it as a skin. But she has been very prolific with her love for her characters, and Golden Glow decided she did not give a damn about that fact. When Nami went to roll for her, she decided to aim for max potential, which ended up costing her about 587 pulls. Well, it wasn't about that much, it was actually specifically that much. And that only gave her 5 copies, so for the last potential she used class coins. But that stream showed us 2 important and beautiful things. One, Nami's love for her children. She is willing to do anything to max potential.
The only one with someone living rent-free in their heads.
It is really beautiful. And 2, we got to see the strat Hypergryph uses to get back all the money they spend hiring artists. Yo, truly it's a god tier business strategy, on the same level as the KFC collab. So KFC is canon refers to these skins we got in the past from the collab. Now because of that, KFC is essentially canon in Arknights. The wild part is, this was meant to be some big hidden secret whatever the fuck because it happened years ago, and
Okay.
after placing it on the iceberg, they kinda just did the collab again. Now I'm not saying they did that because I put it on the iceberg.
Was it KFC now that when it came to Genshin where people in China was like stealing the cutouts from the restaurant, or was it McDonald's? I think it was KFC, yeah. Like people were getting done for like stealing the cutouts of the characters. We have those skins now, really.
But I am saying that y'all should thank
We're
me
gonna try
for
and have a look
giving
at some of the
Global
skins if we
players
get
another
time.
Exia skin, as originally only CN had the collab and Global didn't get the skins. It was like that because they made the collab before the global version was out, which meant we didn't get the
KFC.
Exia
I thought it
skins.
was.
And I suppose the other skins too, but like who the hell cares about them? Instead, let's talk about something people really care about though, Saria and Silence.
Yeah, no, people
So
were just
about
going in
the first
KFC
year of
and
the game,
snatching
people
up the
started to ship Saria and Silence.
cutouts and
We
walking
have
up
the
with them.
relationship dynamic more pinned down now with stuff like Ifrit's manga, Lone Trail, etc. But in the past, we didn't know shit. We just knew Silence wasn't a big fan of the muscle mommy, and in spite of that, Saria openly wore her feather. Which I know seems kinda whack, like she just snapped that shit off of Silence, but it holds a different meaning. LeBerry, the Burbrace, give
that a
their feathers
needle?
to someone they're affectionate towards.
Is that a needle?
Which means that in the
Fine.
past, Silence was affectionate to Saria. We know why now, but year one, it was basically speculation. And Silence really wanted Saria to stay the hell away from Ifrit, who also has her feather, which made the ship of Saria and Silence seem like Silence was the lone mother doing her best for her kid Ifrit, while Saria was the deadbeat dad. Of course, we know now what the relationship is more specifically, but that was
bird.
always a
Oh,
funny
okay.
early ship. And quite
What, it was a
possibly the
needle?
funniest piece
I
of
thought it was a
drama
needle with
was
wings.
easily the Arknights designs are over-sexualized. So this was a fun one. Hell, I even made a video about it. It all started when this person made a comparison between Arknights designs and Genshin designs. They said that in their opinion, Arknights designs are good whilst Genshin designs feel lifeless, using Golden Glow as an example. Then someone came in and said that her design is just a bunch of random shit thrown together. And they decided to double up on that statement by saying Arknights designs are just hypersexualization to appeal to horny teenagers, which then caused the greatest ratio I have ever seen.
I was gonna say, as somebody, I haven't seen any of the skins and stuff, but as somebody who's seen a decent amount of the characters at least now, I said this myself, like, there's a lot of cool factor in this game that compared to, like, you know, Wuthering Waves. I suppose Wuthering Waves is more pretty. With this, it's more like cool. They look dope. Yeah, not a good call there. Not a good call there.
Scene. It felt like about 8 million people came out of the woods and hunted their ass down with the greatest smackdown of all time.
The hive mind
Everyone
came
was
together.
retweeting their ass with pictures showing just how over-sexualized Arknights is, showing Fia Meta wearing
Bro got ratioed hard.
regular clothes, or displaying Shiny in her Aileen the Crow cosplay,
Right.
and lest we forget Mudrock wearing her sultry full-body armor. Yeah, long story short, the community had a fun time cooking them. And honestly, the cherry on top is no one was really mad at them. I mean, some people probably were, but for the most part, people just clown on them and that's it. For once, internet drama
That's how it should be as well, yeah. That's how it should be, you know, just a little bit of friendly roasting, man. Just flame somebody, just grill them just a little bit, you know, just so there's a sizzle there.
didn't dissolve.
No, you
into
don't need to
death
go in too
threats and
hard.
doxing. It was just a fun time. So all in all, it
We're
was
gonna watch a new
wholesome
CN
moment where the
trailer.
community
Maybe,
came
maybe
together
too.
and showed how Arknights designs weren't over-sexualized. It was also a time where the entire community tried to pretend like Utage's summer skin was fan art only. Another wholesome Arknights related thing is the phenomena of Ak bringing operators to Glocko Clock whenever they're in the Ifrit tile. You see, Ak has his funny little third skill that can retreat an operator forcefully,
What the fuck?
which has made many dub him as the imposter amongst Rhodes Island. And people have used his skill to great success, the succession being the murder of anyone who dares enter into the Ifrit tile. Now you may ask me, what is the Ifrit tile? Well, it's a tile
Wait.
for Ifrit and her unique range.
When you do that, do you gain the points, the DP back then, do ya? It even gives the sound as like they've died as well. That's savage.
And from there, you may ask me, why did Rosmantis have to die? That wasn't a good tile for Ifrit and she wasn't even in the squad. And to that I say, ask 777 Ucky, not me. Speaking of Ucky, god gods, let's talk about them. And yes,
Among
Ucky is
Us.
a god god. There is no
Nano
better way to
points.
finish this stage. But this point of
Oh,
the iceberg
shit.
exists to cover all the channels that made Arknights honestly bearable at times. Because there was no goddamn way in hell I was about to do pinch set without a fucking guide. But there's Kyosen V who's uploaded
No
guides
way.
even since the game
What the
released.
hell?
Same goes with Ekijin. Dr. Silvergun is a channel who
Betrayal?
completes many things with just 4-star units. And honestly, that shit is respectable as hell. I think I'd lose my mind if I
You
had
shot
to
to
do
give
that.
the
And that's how the scope of guides is-
okay, so it's like it buffs the operator but drains HP then. Oh, so if they're too low, they're just okay, all right. Okay.
There's also many people who upload operator breakdowns, like E, which maybe isn't the best
Basically,
example
it's
as
kind
he
of
recently
making him a
stopped
bit of a
making
glass
Arknights
cannon then.
content. But even with that being the case, they were a great part of the community. Their videos fucking slapped, and they deserve all the success in making different content. And okay, I stopped uploading videos. Though even with that being the case, many in the community
Oh,
still
this is the one we
appreciate
watched the other
work
day
they've
where
done
they
and
did the
memes
single
they've
tile,
made,
yeah.
like the Forbidden Book of Yeet. And when it comes to memes, Tactus has also been delivering them since the game's launch, making .exe, sprite animations, and characters singing. He also translates and uploads Bilibili videos and gives you revenue to the creators from Bilibili. He even helped me out when I got a fraudulent copyright claim on a rolling video, so all in all, that motherfucker's my goat. Another guide creator is Peter YR, who was basically base god for EN players. They've shared a lot of resources and strategies on making your base as efficient as possible. And honestly, there's a shit ton more Arknights content creators I can mention, but the videos are already like 2 hours long, so I'll just cut this segment short. And also because, I mean, Kukikaze literally made a video recapping all the content creators of the game. But I did want to talk about the content creators who've made videos for the game and have either helped the community through the most CBT-inducing stages, gave us funny memes, made the base more efficient for maxing out Exia, or handed out recommendations on who to build and who to avoid like the plague. One character you should aim for though is Jessica. Not for any gameplay incentive, nah dog, it's because she can fund the creation of a second universe. Let's talk about the richest cat. Now her father is the CEO of Raytheon. Long story short, big ass business, lots of money. As a result of this, she can fund all of your limited banner roles. Due to her having enough money to buy heaven from God, many people have been speculating that the reason she has 3 skins and an alternate form is because canonically she owns Hypergryph and has all outfits in Terra. What we're seeing is only an infinitesimal amount of her wardrobe. You may think this to be a hyperbole, but think of this. Her father runs Raytheon, a weapons company, in Terra. The land that has a war every single month. Business is booming, and I mean that in a literal way. So long story short, that's how Jessica can...
That sounds canonically correct to our own world, that does. That's based.
Canonically buy Rhodes Island with her pocket change. Hell, her garbage can probably be used to fund 8 different E2s. And on the topic of garbage, let's talk about the man that fell into a garbage collector, Kevin. So in the third Annihilatio, you can see a jetpack soldier have their jetpack malfunction and drop into the garbage collector. That's Kevin. In the past, him and Ethan were friends who wandered around the world together and decided to join Reunion. Though later on, Ethan left Reunion and Kevin became a Yeti Squadron member, which then led to his path of falling into the hole. Not only once, but every single time we auto this stage. He's basically going through a fucking re-zero death loop. Now some brave souls try to save him from this fate, and it was impossible, until Irene released. Her skill is able to levitate Kevin and allow him to go away from the hole and live a better life. That is, until he goes into the blue box and the doctor eats him, which...
I like that. That's kind of cute. Actually, that is. No way.
Is possibly why it might be better to just let him live and drop into the hole. As in Ethan's operator record, he heads out to find Kevin. The two of them meet. Ethan gives him neuropathy medicine and sees that Kevin is living a normal life in Lungman as a soda seller. Then the two say their farewells and head off on their own paths in life. Kevin to continue living in Lungman, and Ethan to continue being used only by doctors following Kyo's guides. I mean, come on, everyone follows them. Just like how everyone knows the torture of the early ads. Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, the early Arknights ads felt like a psyop to kill the game on global.
Oh no! Did they have these kind of ads for Arknights? Did they? Oh nah, bro. Really? Wow. Oh, bro. Oh, no way. That's wild. That is. That's like the ones where it's like, they look, they're either terribly dubbed or it's like Eastern Europeans, like they're Eastern European ads. And they're like, oh man, they're hilarious. You know, like, I can't remember the game, and they're talking about they'll go into a bar and I'm like, look at my power. And then the other dude will walk in like, well, actually, look at my power level. And then the girls are all like, oh my God, that's wild. The cringe ads, you know. Damn, how did the game make it 5 years with these sort of ads, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, we might have to watch the ads, you know. Holy
in my personal opinion, this game kind of good, right?
I think them ads might be darker than the actual universe that Terra sits in. Jeez, they need to make them canonical somehow in the game.
But the ads made it seem like the shittiest gacha cash grab of all time. There was literally an ad that showed the characters getting their ass whooped in a stage, and the way to beat the stage was to not implement any strategy whatsoever, but to instead gacha for a 6-star. Bro, not only did they wipe away any semblance of strategy this game has in that ad, they also completely ripped off my strategy for clearing stages. That was some bullshit right there. But the ads did try to make the game seem like the horniest Coomer bait known to mankind that has throwaway gameplay you can clear by just grinding and leveling your units. Which actually makes a...
That's wild as well, isn't it? Because like usually these ads as well, especially for mobile games, like they'll show you a game and that's literally not the game. And I know that's kind of doing the same thing there, but it's the opposite way around. They'll make the game look visually way better than what it is, and then you play the game and you're like, dude, I thought I was like, you know, like taking over an area, and it's literally I'm playing like an RTS game where I'm building up a little town that's just like crap. That they kind of did the reverse, the Uno reverse there. They were like, we've got a decent little game here. How do we make it look like shit? And then that'll surely get people to play the game, right?
A lot of sense as to why the ads were that way. I actually just came to the realization that the ads in Arknights were not a psyop to ruin the game's reputation on global. Nah, he just mixed up the marketing campaign with what Azura Lane wanted to sell their game as. Holy shit, that makes a ton more sense. Yoastar must have switched up the advertisement guidelines for the two games. Jesus, after 3 years, I finally found out why they were so ass. Man, I feel like I know everything right now.
Man, it's a good job I never saw any of these ads. I might not have ever been tempted by you guys to actually play the game, honestly.
Or don't. I actually don't want to be called the old well. Now, Kelshi's nickname comes from two factors, the first one being her age. So, in case you don't know, spoilers for Kelshi's module record, Walk in the Dust, Lone Trail, and Chapter 11. Skip to here if you don't want to be spoiled. But, long story short, she's immortal. She has lived for many years back when the Sarkaz and Sancto were known as the Tikaz. She witnessed the fall of Gaul. Hell, she was even there when the Battle of the Four Emperors happened. She saw the creation of Kirag, lead to the genocide on the Sarkaz, and she even died, to only be resurrected after time had passed. Her real name is Amaten, and she was created by the ancient civilization that came to Terra. She's trying to save Terra, and her actions so far have been for that.
Is that where his channel name comes from then? Is that where his channel name comes from then?
That goal. In a Walk in the Dust, she prevented Columbia from acquiring weapons of mass destruction.
I hope the adverts are better.
She stopped a war between Victoria and
Renfield, oh my
and
god.
acquired the Rhodes Island land ship to start the company. She knows most things about Terra and is on a mission to make it a better world, to save it. Even though she herself is not.
Oh,
the
is
most
he named it that? Okay. All right, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Under what dangerous acts are being committed. But
I thought he was actually a character in the game then, and that's why he called his channel that. That makes more sense.
Due to
definitely.
that, she distrusts humanity and is pessimistic on their future. However, she has not stopped helping it, and her actions have saved the world more than once.
You mean like Moses?
And because she has lived for 10,000 years, the community decided
yeah,
to
makes
call
sense.
her
That makes
Old
sense.
Well when her
Smooth
icon
brain
appeared
moment.
next to this node's
Smooth
name.
brain
It
moment.
was simply a skill issue. If you didn't want the moniker, you shouldn't have dropped right there. I know for a damn fact the person who made her low light is
should have clocked it really when he said doctor. You know, kind of obvious.
In that play. In case you have zero clue why I just call it a low brightness light a person, let me explain who Low Light is. Long story short, they're the person who made Arknights. Low Light, or Hai Mao, is the founder of Hypergryph and is currently the head producer of Arknights. So long story short, yes, they are John Hypergryph. Now the reason Low Light is here is because, yeah, on one hand they did make the game, but who gives a shit about that, am I right? The real reason they're here is because Low Light is based as fuck. Let me give you an example. Someone made a deepfake video of him singing Bakamitai and that shit became a meme. Fast forward to 4 months later during Hypergryph's year-end party, this Chad decided to play a video on the mini-movie screen they had, and nobody could have prepared themselves for what was about to play. It was Low Light not only mimicking the video of Bakamitai, but he was also singing it. And the memes don't stop there. Recently someone made a post about the new events.
Man, there's so many base Chinese devs, isn't there? I love it.
saying how they don't like the portrayal of rice crops being stepped on. They called Low Light a royal descendant who doesn't understand the commoners' hardship. His response to that was simply, what? I farmed before. He also got the title of Pharaoh due to his love for Egyptian culture, which also resulted in a meme being born called the Pharaoh's Blessing, to only later be officially recognized when they had this art appear in a live stream. It's the meme, but his face has been replaced with a rundum. There's also the other title he has, God Hand. Let me tell you the tale of how this moniker was bestowed. On the morrow of Arknights' first anniversary livestream, there was a Wheel of Fortune. It would determine what rewards the players get, and all is, naturally, all. So the Wheel of Fate was spun and came to a stop. Not on all. Then the force of nature known as low light pushed it to all, giving players more wards, which was really cool, but it does not stop there. They did similar things in the second anniversary, 2.5 anniversary, third anniversary, 3.5 anniversary, and due to this control of the Wheel of Fate, he has been dubbed God Hand, which is a cool last title, but since I've read Berserk, not gonna lie, it's a little terrifying. Knowing that the God Hand is behind Arknights is a strange concept, but it does kinda explain why the story is so damn depressing, and helps to explain the torture of the Loud Squad. Now to those of you who are unaware, let me tell you about the Loud Squad. You'll listen close because after this, you won't be able to hear them again. Yep, that's basically the explanation. You're welcome. Now, Destiny is a funny one. In the past, they teased a collaboration between Arknights and Destiny 2. Then followed that news up by what you're hearing now, silence. Because the Loud Squad made you deaf. I'm thinking that we're gonna get it, it'll just take some time. Because the Monster Hunter collab took forever before some stuff was officially...
Did that ever happen? I feel like that's never gonna happen now, right? Did that actually happen? Destiny who? Proof? Proof? I've got the ghost over there, actually. The actual model. Not yet. Stop coping.
announced. But some people are speculating it'll never happen, because of the current situation Destiny is in, with having laid off most of their employees and following up that amazing act with the dumbest fucking statement of mankind. So some are saying Destiny may not have the resources for the collab, as I'd imagine it'll be a two-way street with how their Fortnite collab puts skins in the Eververse shop. Or it's possible that Hypergryph may want to distance themselves because of Bungie's shitty decisions. We don't know. Anything now is basically speculation. My 2 cents is that we're gonna get it, but it's just taking a while. And when it comes to what's in the collab, it's looking like it's skins and a mini story only, but we'll have to see the particulars of it if it drops within our lifespan. Just like how we're about to see the atrocities of Layer 3, table soul sucking. So, 4 ears, let's talk about it. Now this relates to the phenomena of operators having, well, 4 ears. I ain't gonna sugarcoat.
Yeah, I got like, this tripped me out, this did. I was like, wait a minute, what? So, do they hear out both ears? You know, have they got like Dolby Atmos? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, is this the hearing ear? Or is this the hearing ear? You know? What's the deal, man? What's the deal?
They got both human ears and the ears of a furry's wet dream. You can mainly see this in some anime art here and there, but there's also characters like Frostleaf, Amiya's newspaper skin, and Jessica who have headphones or something similar over their human ears. So
right, that's kind of sick though. You think about it. If you hear out of both, right? You put your headphones on, you listen to tunes, you got that, like I say, that surround. People can talk to you while you listen to music as well. Insane.
Some do only have 2 ears like the Sancta and Sarkaz, but any operator with animal ears also has regular human ears. Now, why this is the case?
Q&A in the past says they use both ears. Community assumption is a humanoid evolution that mixes the features. Interesting. See, these are the real questions that get in my head, you know. How do you sit on a toilet with a tail? You know? You need special chairs so you can slide your tail in. Do you get backache if you're always putting it up like that? You know what I mean? How do cars work? How do you sit in a car? Like, these are the real questions. How does hearing work? Yeah, man. You know? Like, the risk of frostbite on all 4 ears is increased exponentially.
I do not know. But I'm glad it is, because the idea of a bald operator just
toilet
having
discussion,
a head shaped like a ball with 2 animal ears. Wait. If an operator is bald, then does that remove the fluffy animal ears, or do they just look like a Sphinx cat's ears?
Yeah,
no,
for real?
I don't like this train of thought. I'm gonna abandon it.
That'd be creepy, actually.
Let's instead talk about something wholesome, ships. So in the community, many people ship many different
fingers
operators.
on top of your head?
There's so many ships out there to where you can barely see the waters. I did talk about the Saria and Silence one prior, but this is gonna be more broad. Let me just go through some of the popular ones. Texas and Exia, Hoshiguma and Shen, Silver Ash and Courier, Mastama and Exia, Lapland and Project Bread and Province, Ceylon and Schwartz, yeah, that one's basically just canon, Ack and Warfarin, Sora and Texas, The One-Sided Love, Blue Poison and Glaucus, and Franco with Liskarm. Yeah. That's not even 10% of the ships I've seen from the community. The Arknights community is one of the rare cases where a community likes shipping characters with other characters more than the self-insert. Yo, FGO players can never. Let's talk about the Arknights mangas. Now, in case you haven't heard about these, by God, I'm about to give you so much reading material, because there's a lot. Road's Kitchen is about cooking, but it mainly uses that setting to just tell stories about the operators. And one of the
90% of gay
chapters is
ships.
actually the most wholesome story about Rosa learning how Zima and Gummy accept her and don't hate her, which is what I love to see from Arknights. There's many depressing stories, but getting the wholesome ones every now and then remind you that it isn't the most bleak story. There are good times. This is what I love to see. Just operators having a good time enjoying life. Now take all of what I just said and throw it out the fucking window because the Rhine Lab manga is depressing as shit. This talks about the history of Saria, Silence, and Ifrit and goes into how Ifrit was experimented on as a child to gain her powers. There's also the Black Steel manga which talks about that faction and the one about Arturian Executor. If you want to read the official translations, the link will be in the description.
Like, hold up, sorry, to keep going back to it, where are we? Ain't no way you're sitting on a normal toilet with that. Ain't no way. It's a squat toilet or nothing. Or you'd reverse cowgirl in that shit. You know, otherwise you're gonna get some major backache, man.
Black
Just
Steel
saying.
manga which talks about that faction and the one about
I don't care how bendy it
If you want
is.
to read the official translations, the link will be in the description. Ones that are yet to be translated is the Operator manga, Angelina's, A1, which takes place in the city of Toronto, which is probably the closest we'll get to Canadian representation on Arknights, so fuck it, I'll take it. And there's 123 Rhodes Island, which is basically just funny short stories. Ebenholz becoming a metalhead is still the funniest chapter from that. Deadass, he blasts the music even though he hates it because the voice in his head, which constantly berates him and calls him and his music trash, hates it even more. That shit is funny and why he's my goat. Though the chapter of Mastoma bullying Fiametta is a close second for my favorites. And let's talk about one of my favorite medics, Tea Applesauce. Now you may ask yourself, what the fuck is Blood on about? Let me explain. So on the release of Arknights, Watch Mojo made a sponsored video of the top 10 operators in the game. And when they got to Telopsis' section, her name was pronounced
Watch Mojo
as
made a video.
that. Tectone's reaction to the video helped popularize the meme, and the community ran with calling her Tea Applesauce as, well, that's what homie said.
Oh,
now,
okay, that's
I
where
do
it came
understand
from.
his plight. Her name is deadass spelled like an old Lovecraftian god, so
Tea
I can't
Applesauce.
exactly blame him. But at the same time, homie deadass said Pramanix's name like this.
Pramanix.
Bramanix.
Honestly, this motherfucker's my goat of Watch Mojo. I ain't even gonna hold you. Now,
Not gonna lie. That might be how I'd say that if I looked at it, if I'm
on the
honest.
topic of Tea Applesauce, let's talk about the table. So this section is...
I can get down with the
It's gonna
applesauce.
get the
I
video
like you.
demonetized. In the past, year one of Arknights, someone made a drawing. In it, Blue Poison is given a cake to the doctor, one she made. It's really wholesome because Blue Poison says everyone is afraid of her because she can make poison, and they're especially scared of
Hey,
her food
Skybird.
because they don't want the Putin special, if you catch my drift. But the doctor accepts her and her cooking, and because of that, she makes a cake to give to him, one of the few people
Okay.
who is not afraid of her. As she goes to hand the doctor the cake, she notices he's asleep and decides to just leave it there. But turns out, under the table, Tea Applesauce is there and is, in the most PG-13 way possible, sucking his soul out of his John.
Not gonna lie. That's a pause. That's just. Hey, you know. I respect it. I respect it. I didn't expect that.
Johnson. And because of that, many arts are
The
made in
apples
which
suck?
Tea Applesauce is nesting under the table. Or arts
Damn.
where Blue Poison and Tea Applesauce are seeing who could get the closest to the doctor. For legal reasons, I don't think I could talk about this topic in any more detail, so let's move on to another one. Let's instead talk about
Okay.
hot dogs, no innuendo intended.
The
So hot dogs
pause.
to people refers to this line from Kelshi and
It's one of my
Longshot, in which he
skills. It's
says
one of my
that they got that
skills.
name because hot-ass paros were the ones selling them. And you may question as to why this is fairly low despite the fact it's said in the early chapters of a recent event, but to that I say, I know for a damn fact nobody actually reads the story. Yo, thank the heavens Frostbite exists. Without him, half the fandom would think Anduin deserves to be forgiven. Let's talk about Pure Stream. She's an operator who released a while back, but on her release, the only way to get her was by buying the Wildlife Pack. It was $1 and give you Pure Stream with one Origin Prime. They did clarify that she'd later be added to the recruitment pool, but for a couple of months you could only get her from that pack, which was a collaboration with the World Wildlife Fund, an organization that helps and conserves endangered species. And the funds that went to that pack were sent to the
I
WWF.
remember when the WWF had to change the name, didn't they, to the WWE because of the WWF. It was world times, man.
So players could donate to charity in-game and also get a complimentary dolphin. And naturally, since your boy
This
cares about
fandom is
the
very, very
environment, I bought
horny.
the pack
It's
as well.
Gacha.
Also,
All
because
fandoms
Pure
are
Stream
very,
is
very
essential to
horny.
one of the best base combinations in game, but I will still claim that 51% of my purchase was for the sake of the world. After all, I hate seeing species going extinct. Oh hey, there's Passenger. The operator that is based on the passenger bird, which went extinct on September 1st, 1914. And Passenger's birthday is... Oh, well, that's depressing. Let's talk about something fun instead. So on release, Passenger was completely fucking dog shit. Deadass, one of the worst units in the game, and everyone shit-talked him. Now, this man did not go the way of the Passenger patient after all that shit talk. Nah, instead, he won. Let me tell you of the tale of Passenger, not the dead ones, the Arknights one. Since he was utter unusable trash on his release, Hypergryph buffed him. Well, more particularly, he buffed his class, Chaincasters, as they all, ate more ass than Riley Reed. But that buff was the equivalent to dropping a twig in a wood chipper. It gave nothing. And the CN community went wild in a damn funny way. They made an entire copy pasta about him being God, and the reason he never killed wasn't because he was ass. It was because he was too kind. By the way, Lowlight saw this shit and promoted the memes. But guess what? It don't stop there. On national TV, this high school student, nay, this Chad, deadass said to buff Passenger. So because of all the memes, because this Chad decided to speak the truth, and because Passenger was by far the worst 6-star in the game, they decided to buff him. Again. And so they made Godsinger real. And the buffs didn't stop there because they dropped a fire module for him. I know modules are meant to be a power increase, but I'm gonna call it a buff because it feels like there's a 50-50 between getting something like Ling's module, which is the greatest buff imaginable, and something like Dusk's mod X, which is honestly just an insult. And that is how Hypergryph made Godsinger real. Honestly, he's strong enough to be a Beastmaster. Now, in case you don't know what that is, Beastmasters are talking animals. Yep, I'm not making that one up. The Emperor...
It's the man. It's the man. I will not be happy unless I see a character like Emperor in Enfield. I need a penguin, dripped out, glasses, 2 Glocks, ready to go. It has to happen. Please make it happen. I don't care. We'll whip out the credit card if we have to. If I'm not in the position to pull it, we'll pay. We'll pay. I don't care.
Is literally a talking Emperor Penguin. The Beastmasters are all immortal and have existed since time immemorial. The Beastmasters we know now are the Emperor, High Priest, Gawain, the Signor de Lupe, Amma, and Dolly. Yeah, that last one feels a little out of place. I mean, not as out of place as the Duck and Duck Lord. Since they have lived for as long as time existed, they all decided to do different things in the world. High Priest spends their time in Sargon making technology. Signor de Lupe is the pack of wolves that fight each other to deem who the Alpha is. But because they cannot kill each other, they instead appoint fangs, humans, to fight in their stead. They need to kill all the other fangs and that wolf is deemed the winner. In fact, Project Red is one of these fangs. And then there's the Emperor, who makes sick-ass rap music. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you, this motherfucker knows how to spit some shit. The Emperor is easily the coolest Beastmaster, bro. Just look at him holding his piece surrounded by the wolves.
Right?
This motherfucker
Dude,
is my
that image just goes so fucking hard, man. That's what I'm saying. I can't get that image out of my head and I need it in-game, you know what I mean?
Oh, bias to Penguin logistics aside. The Emperor is one of the best things to come out of Arknights. It's not even close. Though, someone who's almost as cool as the Emperor is Asta. And in case you do not know why the community glazes him, well, it's due to Arknights' legendary translations, in which he translated his entire operator description to simply Asta. Nothing more, nothing less. His name is all you need to know to understand how much of a Chad he is. It's changed now, but honestly I don't think there was anything to fix. It was honestly perfect. My man became a meme due to his Chad energy. And on the topic of memes, let's cover the copy pastas. So there exist many different ones that, for the sake of this iceberg and at the
That's jokes. That was his character description. Okay, alright.
cost of my sanity, I decided to look up.
Concise,
though,
right? Simple, concise, straight to the point.
Rundown, there's a Massimo one in which they're almost as down bad for her as I am for Rexia. One about how sexual...
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Weedy isn't gay.
Alright.
Don't question it. The Vaporeon one, both Spectre as the focal point, the Tallulah one, and an honorable mention of how Thorns throws the sperm for his ranged attacks.
Man, these guys are damn bad. They're damn bad. Oh my god. Okay, that might be the worldiest one. That might be the worldiest one.
And no,
carry on.
I am not describing that one. I refuse. This iceberg was a mistake. Yeah, that's all for the copy pasta section. If you want to see more, you could easily look it up. I need not sting my eyes more than they have been, and we will never talk about these copy pastas again.
Horrendous, right?
Let's instead talk about attack canceling, alright? It's a very niche tech you can use that stops your character from attacking. The way to do it is to use a skill that cannot be used right before you attack. That will cause the operator to stop their normal attack. The best use of this that I saw was a strat for a high risk in CC9 where they had Glad-G attack cancelling so she didn't hurt the enemies that essentially have thorns.
Bad day for being
I just
literate.
remember the thorns copy pasta. Anyway, that's a thing that can happen. It's pretty cool, but doesn't have too many uses, kind of like the multiplayer in the game. So far in the past of Arknights, they decided to make a multiplayer event. It's where you and another player took 2 floors of a building and had to stop the enemies. They would spawn at the top and the bottom, and the ones at the top try to take the stairs to get to the lower floor, where the blue box is. And the top player is meant to stop them from that, to make it easier on the bottom player. Thing is, some people decided making it impossible to stop the enemies would have been funnier. And they were correct. This shit is hilarious. The multiplayer event was really fun when it was launching. Hope they could bring it back in the future. I mean, I'm mainly hoping that because I played it in a way that actually helped the other player, and if they brought it back, I would 1000% troll the other player. But we
So I was going to say, just turned into trying to filter the other player, basically. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
Need to go into the details of that. Details we should go into though is Crown Slayer bullying. Now, this is one of my personal favorites, right? So, take this boss, Crown Slayer. She was an early game boss and was fairly difficult as she had a move to teleport past operators. However, every bit of difficulty within basically any encounter with her was nullified when people found out she has no resistance to being pushed or pulled by specialists. This Wanaki came on in and popularized the bully squad by treating Crown Slayer like she was a yo-yo and the doctor was planning out the sickest tricks. Now this bullying went a step further when Hypergryph decided to remake her boss stage, but instead of using roadblocks to stop her, they just put a hole down for her to go the way of Kevin. Lest we even talk about the new levels of Crown Slayer bullying that happened after Shu was released. Homie isn't having the best time as of right now.
Okay, getting hard bullied. Now I can see where some people were saying this when I saw Crown Slayer pop up, with people talking about just kept spamming bully, you know, getting bullied, and I was just like, I didn't get it. I get it now. I get it now.
And this doesn't help much story-wise either, because she got her mentor killed by Project Bread and Siro Kusano, and then had Project Bread run her pockets. And let's even talk about how in the main story in anime, Kelshi whooped her ass with the most bored expression on her face, even needing to stop Monster from turning her into a shadow. In gameplay, anime, and the story, she has been bullied in every—
So is she basically Arknights Yamcha? Is that what it is then, yeah? She's just straight up Yamcha. Yeah?
every single adaptation. Hell, if a live action was made, the person who gets casted for Crown Slayer is probably going to be sweating bullets, as they know they are not in for a fun time. What'll happen to them is going to be live streamed on Zero Sanity memes. Now, there's two
become the worst
descriptions I can
playable
use to
6 side in the
detail
current
what Zero
roster.
Sanity memes is. The first
She's
is that
built
it's
to
the
get
meme
bodied.
subreddit for Arknights, where people post out funny videos and pictures, etc, etc. You know how memes work. The other descriptor is that it's an affront to God. At times, most times that is, it lives up to its name of Zero Sanity. Within that realm of tragedy and insane doctors, there exists no law. Damn near everything is posted. Horny posting, more horny posting, even more.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah. Okay, AK community's horny. I get it, I get it, I get it.
Horny posting, and somehow, yet even more horny.
Okay.
Posting, and there's a fucking tag called Kataoka-san posting. What the fuck is that meant to be? You know, I'm sorry to say, but if you didn't know of this place prior, then please run now while you can. Curiosity killed the cat, don't increase its KD ratio. Instead of that, let's just move on to Layer 4, Suzu's Cult. First thing on it, Scamfer and Kukikaze pulls, let's talk about it. You see, Viper is a gacha game YouTuber who primarily makes content on Arknights. Talking about the community, the game, etc, etc, yeah, that's not what I'm here for. Nah, I'm here to talk about their Dr. Jekyll side, Scamfer. That is a moniker that relates to the paranormal phenomena of them taking, shaping, and molding the most dog shit RNG imaginable. They do viewer polls where they log into the account of a viewer and roll for them on a banner. Thing is, a lot of the times, like 90% of them, it results in permanent account damage. Against all odds.
That was just a master bricker then, yeah? Is that what it is, yeah? Just like give me your account and get it bricked, yeah? Okay.
Consistently defying probabilities set out by mathematicians, the rolls find a way to prove that rate up is a lie. Shit, them rolls basically taking a page out of Nexon's book. And due to this, the name Scamper was not given to Viper. No.
Not gonna lie though, the write-up's a scam. We saw it myself.
It was earned. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Kukikaze can take 3 pulls, a missing shoe, a chewed up gum wrapper, and somehow get pot 6 on half the cast. Truly, I do not know the Ouroboros method they have in store, yet there is definitely some binding vow between the two of them. For every account Viper crushes, that's another one saved for Kukikaze. We deadass got the heaven or hell you could put your account through, and it's hilarious. Yo, deadass, 2 sides.
It's like siphoned off, right? Yeah, dude's like a pull succubus, right? Kind of what's happening with me at the moment, like with ZZZ. ZZZ's where all the luck happens. I win all my 50-50s. I get characters in like, well, 110 pulls. I get like 4 characters plus weapons and then everything else. I don't even get fucking write-ups on Arknights. You know what I mean? Lose my 50-50s. Go hard pull on hard pity on weapons. You know, it's
Sides of the same coin, much like Province.
He's
and
just
Scavenger.
that
Now, when it
incarnate.
comes to this ship, I didn't bring it up in the ship section as it goes a little deeper. That is to say, it's kinda official. In Scavenger's profile, there are 2 pretty interesting archives to look at. One tells the story of how she
Skill
loved this
issue?
girl from her
So
home
that is.
village, but was then thrown out due
The
to her
yin and
being
yang of
infected.
Arknights.
And when she met her love again, she was already dead. Yeah, that shit is kind of depressing, but what I want to focus on is the fact that she likes women. She's the first confirmed LGBT plus character in Arknights. And in another archive of her file, well, easiest way to put it is, do you know how gay Moby Dick is? Like, imagine that, but with women instead. Wait, that's just Canto 5. But yes, this archive shows she has feelings towards Province. And what's more is that the official artist for Province made art that's kinda, sorta, entirely shipping the
Still
two.
need to play Limbus.
Now, it's not like 1,000,000% confirmed, you know, they haven't been roommates for 10 years now, but like, come on, dog, this shit is more obvious about being gay than I am about being bisexual. Let's talk about the king of controversy, Summer. The reason I say that is because damn near half of Arknights' controversies have all taken place in Summer. At first, it started out small. To get materials from Obsidian Festival, players had to do stages, get currency, to then buy a token to do a different stage, and use what they got from that to then buy materials. So it was way too convoluted, but nothing terribly
I was gonna say that sounds insanely convoluted.
egregious. Not that many people were mad, but they were a little annoyed. Then next summer came around. In it, they did a rerun of the prior summer event, Heart of Surging Flame, and Hypergryph decided to make a new banner with thorns. Thing is though, since it was a rerun, anyone who played the event prior was unable to get any more Origini Prime, which meant less rolls, but also no way to get new skins for free. As in other events, you can complete the stages, get the prime, then buy a skin for free. But in this one, older players couldn't do that. Add that to the fact that back then, Thorns was probably top 5, easily top 10 operators in the game, and yeah, it's understandable to be pissed. As a response, Hypergryph said they will never introduce a new banner on any reruns. And 3 years later, they've stuck with that. No rerun has had a new
Alright.
banner. Even though it seems like some were meant
That I like that. That's kind of cool. Fair play.
for a rerun, like Suitor being in Granny's event and a Cheeto being in a Coda Brawl rerun. They also decided to rerun Thorns' banner and Unetix's banner
Like
after her
sucks
event.
at the minute
So players
with
can get prime
Brandt coming and then Changli rerunning with Brandt. It's like,
from that and another chance to roll Thorns. Or use that prime to buy the skins that dropped during Thorns' banner because they were also being rerun. And finally, they gave players a free 10 pull as well. All of that calmed down the shitstorm that was the first and only instance of a new banner on a rerun event. But that is nothing compared to how
not gonna lie, bit of free pulls is always a good way to calm down a gacha player, right? Let him, you know, enjoy the addiction. Let him shoot up, basically. That's a way to relax them, you know? It's like a fiend going crazy. Just throw them a rock to smoke and they'll be okay then. They'll calm down, you know? They won't hassle you.
community reacted when Summer Chen released. My god, that was hell. You see, at the time, Arknights never had a limited summer unit before. We had Chinese New Year limiteds like Neon and anniversary limiteds like W and whatever half anniversary ones as well. This made it so there was 2 pools for limiteds with them running 3 limited banners a year. Then they came in with the limited summer pool and people weren't the most happy, as that was now 4 limiteds a year when prior, at launch, there were 0. So that's where the controversy started. The oxygen for the fire was the fact that she was top 3 strongest units in the game, arguably at the time top 1. The gasoline for it was the fact that she looked like another operator, Blaze. The propane was how people felt that the altar was random and not story-based at all. Most people felt that Summer Chen was just a lazy alternate form of a popular character, as in the event she kinda just pulled up a water gun out of nowhere, so it didn't feel as lore deep as something like Sculptor was. And the sprinkles on top was how the character sharing the raid up, Mizuki, was kinda dog shit at the time.
Man, fuck, you get one of them water guns, man. That's insane. Like, just imagine whipping one of those. Those got posh then. Just imagine whipping one of those out in a water fight as a kid. Damn.
This caused players to feel like Summer Chen was a cash grab. Make a new limited banner out of nowhere, make her broken as fuck, make an alternate form of a beloved character whilst not having the strongest basis for an alter form, and have her look like Blaze. And have the alter form be based on her outfit from Heart of Surging Flame that everyone wanted as a skin. And then just remove it in her E2 in favor of some really mid drip. This controversy had CN.
Wait, oh, that's gotta be like a. Yeah, I was just sorry. I was just thinking the. Sorry, I was just thinking of a.
Form be based on her outfit from Heart of Surging.
I was just thinking of the mechanics of the bikini. Yeah, so obviously the strap's coming over, and then the tail. Interesting.
Flame that everyone wanted as a skin, and then just remove it in her E2 in favor of some really mid drip. This controversy had CN players make a list of 15 demands for Hypergryph. No limited summer banner, no poorly explained alters, decreasing the spark from 300 to 120. They should do this
Bikini
shit, by the way.
logistics.
Cancel the limited banner and make it solo Mizuki. Doc, this one would have caused way more controversies if they did that. Change the E2
Bro's
art,
locked in
which
on the
they did
tail
and made her look
paradox
less
for
like
real.
Blaze. Change all the old character arts in the game. That demand is whack as hell, and I
hyper-focused.
don't really gotta explain why. Explain why it looks like this Ami art is plagiarizing from this company.
Yo, that's a wild-ass cap, bro. Did you see that cap?
Issues in the art book. Change a store package that gave players less in it than what it gave in a previous limited event. Understandable, and they did end up giving more for that package. Explain where Pink Doggo, Golden Glow, is. Promise the new module system is
Yo,
free
I got
to
the
play.
new
Hypergryph
snapback
said it was,
side
but
back
some players
thing.
lost trust in them
Yeah,
due
what
to
it be?
this event,
Snapback,
so they thought it
snap
wouldn't be.
sides
Turns out the
back.
module system was completely free to play friendly, but at the time players had no way of knowing. Proofread all future and past dialogue. I disagree at this point. I say proofread less. It's funnier that way. Make event timings planned out better so there isn't
Whatever.
rerun after rerun, as stuff like that is really boring for older players. And prior to this banner, there was a 2-month period of nothing new except for Vigilio. Make new story chapters come up faster, and finally tell us if there will be new roguelike game modes and if they'll be permanent. Hindsight 2020, we got up to 3 at the same time and all are permanent. So yes, that is the list of demands and goes to show how nuclear Summer Chen was. Some of them were addressed, others were valid, and I completely agree, and some were just people throwing needless hate on the head artist for Arknights, and I personally cannot get behind that. Though it goes to show how that was probably one of the lowest points for Arknights. Thankfully, the next summer event, My Ideal City, didn't really have any noticeable controversy around it. But So Long Adele had some people complain that there are too many alternate forms of operators, and I agree, as there are some I would love to see taken out of NPC jail. Like Lemuin, Ascalon, Lemuin, Logos, Lemuin, Closer, Lemuin, Opian, Lemuin, Mechanist, Misery, that Lemuin is not an operator.
Has she got a sniper rifle and is she in a wheelchair?
Okay, I got a bit of a bias. Aside from me spitting facts out of 4 summer events, 3 have had controversies with them. I don't know what this summer-based curse is, but my god, is it funny as hell. Straight up, the next summer event feels like a 50-50.
How would she ever, like, get the high ground for sniping? She stand up once it was so peak. And she can oh, yeah, I get there. Yeah, that actually, she could do that. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Upper body strength, right? Yeah. Need to see a sniper position. Yeah, I need to. Yeah. I need to.
Chance between being normal or another shit show. We'll have to see. It's a curse, much like the curse Exia.
She once got a wheelchair on top of a signpost and snipes.
Time to talk about the Exia dojins. And due to how the subject matter is, I'm a deadbeat showing cute pictures of cats because showing what I'm talking about will traumatize
timeline cleanser.
As a disclaimer, I'm not sad about how high this is in the iceberg. No,
okay,
I'm fucking
I respect
that it should be higher. Deadass, this deserves to probably be in the second layer, but your boy wants to represent the community a little well. When I was making the iceberg, I wanted to put it in the lowest tier, but everyone said that shit deserves to be higher. And I get it. I know. Dear God, trust me. I know.
That's a crazy looking cat.
Let's just somehow pretend, that not everyone knows of this accursed knowledge, alright? So with that being said, to those of you who have no clue about the Exia dojins, which is like 99% of the community, totally, let me explain. Now the best way to explain this without having YouTube kill me is with math. So there are 23 Exia dojins on that one site starting with an N. 11 of those are not safe for life, damn near half. The other half of those dojins ain't exactly the peachiest, but by comparison they're as pure as Jesus. The only tag most of the not safe life ones share that I could say out loud would be Riona. In case you don't know what that is, it involves violence. I won't say any more, but I will say that Riona is not the worst tag on those doujins. Thing is, most of those doujins were created by an artist called Kato Okasan. And real quick, do not harass them. I bring them up for the sake of the iceberg, but I do not wish to see people harass that artist. People have done that in the past and it's fucked up. It's fine to not like their work, but I don't believe people should give them death threats over it. Now, they're the one who's drawn most of the
getting a bit crazy like that when it comes to art.
Spicy like a goddamn Carolina Reaper extra art, and due to that, whenever she is brought up like a fucking Amber Alert, someone will be there to bring up Kataoka-san. For better or for worse, their arts are known by most. But the curse of Arknights doujins don't stop there. There's one of Chen and A.
Whoa. Please, no, I don't want to see what. It must even with a dick. What was that?
Getting an autopsy. Nothing actually sexual, literally just an autopsy. And also one about Snow Saint not exactly having the greatest time. With that depressing shit done, let's move on to something equally as ass, Beagle's death. And Who Is Real Dust showed Cruz a dream, something contained within her paintings. And in that dream, it was alluded to that Beagle died. See, she went to Bolivar, her hometown, and in Bolivar there is a war going on between 3 factions vying for control over the country. And during her participation in the war, she died. However, that's just a bad dream Dust showed Cruz. It's not fully reality, right? Well, it goes a little deeper. Beagle has a bloodline of combat skin, one that is taken right before she participates in the war, which ominously says the outfit worn by elite operator Beagle, serving as the rear guard during the Great March of Bolivar. This is her final test, which gives more evidence that something may have happened in Bolivar, especially when you know the meaning behind the bloodline of combat skins. But again, it's just a dream of the future, something that can happen but can also be avoided. After all, we saw Mr. Nothing get assassinated.
She's been confirmed alive. Okay,
Island, he was able to escape that fate. But when Cruz had her dream, she saw Beagle.
Schrodinger's Beagle.
The first emotion she felt was disbelief. She was very distant from Beagle, as if knowing that just by seeing her there, something is wrong. Later, the two go their separate ways and say goodbye. Then Cruz hears, "See you. We'll meet again." You know that's not how things will end. What you will face on the path ahead will be far worse. Then it cuts to a different point in time, the Bolivar operation. In that painting, the emergency comms stopped working and Cruz decided to run to where Beagle was. And upon getting to her location, she says, "Beagle? Are you sure it's her?" "No way. How come?" And here's this response. "We'll have a detailed report later on." And, well, Cruz, we probably shouldn't get too involved in this mess. If Bolivar is really this complicated, there's nothing we can do for her. With Cruz saying, "No, I should have stopped her. I should have stopped her. Whatever it took, And as even more evidence that she died, Lava the Purgatory's operator record talks about the blank incident in which she became a full-grown adult in the span of a night. And the blank incident probably refers to Bolivar. This is the evidence that Beagle dies in the future, but counter-evidence is what Neon says after saving her. All she did was draw the rest of your lives out in the painting and let them play out again from the beginning. That's all fake anyway. Couldn't you have picked a better ending? In the main storyline's timeline, so currently in Victoria, we have yet to see Beagle die.
Is that their way of being like, oh, here's some PTSD? Not just joking.
Confirmed in the future of the main story,
maybe not.
Maybe in a Bolivar-related event. But as of now, we do not have a fully confirmed death scene for Beagle. Just a lot of evidence that something will happen to her. However, we do have a fully confirmed death scene for Kaobe. It was in one of the endings of her integrated strategies, Fung Mist, in which she died with the cause more than likely being the copious amounts of shrooms she consumed. Yep, Fung Mist is literally just Kaobe's drug trip through Sargon after she ate some wild shrooms. Thankfully though, that ending is not canon, and instead Kaobe just had a really fun time. What is canon though is Hordier being an idol fan. That's right, this beefcake of a man with extra cake is secretly an otaku. He is not only the biggest fan, but the biggest simp of You Official. Long story short, she's a streamer, and in the most recent April Fool's event, you managed her live stream. And as we were doing that, we figured out the account name for her editor is One-Eyed Spy. And when you take a look at Discount Guts over there, then yeah, the name adds up a little. Now apparently, I say apparently as we're yet to get this event on Global, but these are apparently some of the messages he sent out in chat. Now, I want you to read this and imagine Hordier's deep fucking Mariana Trench ass voice saying this shit out loud. It is easily one of the best things to come out of Arknights. As a result of his simpery, 2 things happened. 1, players took it as confirmation that he was going to survive the current story arc because people were not 1000% sure on that being the case. 2, immense amounts of art started being made with him being an idol fan. Fanboying, getting hyped for a stream, having a body pillow, you name it and it has been made. It feels like the entire Arknights community banded together to show this man as a fanboy in all of his forms, and it is beautiful. The only other time I saw such connection within the community was for Platinum's faceplant. A bit more than a year ago on Japanese TV, Hitomi Honda, an idol, Hordeer's.
Bro, Japanese TV is wild, isn't it? Like, it's wild, man. There's some weird shit on Japanese TV.
Probably a fan. Was cosplaying Platinum and had to use an ab roller while a man wearing a muscle suit commented on it with people reacting to it on face cam. Now, as to why that is the case, there is only one answer. It's Japanese TV. And as the cosplayer tried to use the ab roller, they heroically face planted on the ground. And the entire Arknights community saw this shit. Within what felt like 0.2 nanoseconds, artists came out with 5 million different works showing her having face planted. It felt like for a brief moment, technology advanced to where people could immediately draw and upload the image.
This dude went for we went for a different position.
They were thinking about. Everyone drew her face planting and that became associated with Platinum. The memes die down now, but the memories about it will never fade away.
You're welcome
Just
back.
Like how Platinum
welcome back,
will never have a
streamer.
six-pack, or how Hypergryph will seemingly never decide to take an easy-ass bag. Let me explain what I mean by this point. So there exists an infinite amount of moments where Hypergryph can do something very simple and just print money. What are those, you may ask?
Would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. Guys, quick little pause. If you're watching on YouTube and you are enjoying the stream, be sure to drop a like on the stream. It's very much appreciated. As well, I did upload a video earlier on if you want to check that out at any point. Very much appreciated as well. Welcome to everybody in the chat, guys. Hopefully, you're all doing well today as well. All right, let's get back into it. Just a quick plug. Quick plug, man.
Giving us maid Kelshi or butler Kelshi, preferably butler Kelshi. Making any of the Ambiance Synthesia outfits into in-game skins. Giving us the Angelina and Masuma sportswear outfits. Giving us this extra outfit that I don't even remember where it's from, but I have it saved as a screenshot on my 6-year-old phone because I am the most insane extra simp. Point is, there are a multitude of different sprites which already exist that if made into skins will have everyone throw money at the screen. Yet for whatever ungodly reason, Hypergryph refuses to do it. I do not know why they haven't, but not making Kelshi Butler drip into a skin is the greatest form of financial sabotage. We already got the sprite, dog. You don't need to add anything else to it. We'll buy it from the store in that form, goddammit. Them not making the easiest financial choices is almost as whack as Suzerain having a cult. Now, I'm not talking about the cult. Nah, I'm talking about an official in-game one. In Suzerain's operator file, you can see a paragraph rivaling the length of this video being used to detail every action Suzerain takes in a day. And at the end of it, they say, Miss Suzerain is our light. And to not let her meet Lapland, that one's a smart decision. But the operator record showed us how a cult exists who calls Suzerain our light.
Why?
Which has caused many artworks to use that term in a literal way, as in...
Okay, we're back to the tail thing here. I'm sorry. How mechanically does that happen then? That's impossible. We're at next levels now. I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Lightbulb Suzerain edition. And also for people to sob and say, Arlie, whenever she briefly appears in a live stream.
How is she doing
one
that?
One of those is a little more wholesome than the other. The other is about as wholesome as Ness's history. So this is a Ness. You may look at her and think two things. Damn them thighs. Also, she's a Sarkos. Thing is, though, she isn't a Sarkos. She's a Cabernet. In her E2 art, you can see Ebenholz's ancestor. And in Dark Knight's Memoir, they talk about her shaving her horns to look more Sarkos. Thing is, though, with her being a Cabernet, she should have ears that show that. I mean, look at Eben and Aya. They both got goat ears. In fact, we don't even see a tail. This has caused people to think she either hides her ears under her horns or has, you know, sukined them. Like, slice, dismantle. Okay, she cut her ears off is the theory. Tail is a maybe, but I feel as though that's easy enough to hide. I mean, as long as she wasn't really taking back shots from Hordeer, there was probably no reason to. Though her reasons for appearing like a Sarkos become apparent in her operator file, where she hands an orphan Lathonian boy in Kazdil a file and says, only a Sarkos can survive in Kazdil. And Ines later says the only difference between her and that boy is that she survived afterwards. So it's likely something similar happened to her. Now, if she did cut off her ears, or if she is a Cabernet that just doesn't have noticeable ears, I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that she had to pass off as a Sarkos. Even now, she still doesn't disclose her race to Rhodes Island. Just like how Cruz never disclosed her eyes either. In her base form and altar, she dead held the look of Brock, never opening her eyes. Why? Because if she did, Brock, God Cruz would be awakened and bring calamity upon Terra. And also because she's sleepy as hell. But in an art book, we finally got to see her open her eyes, and they're green. Now, what you will do with that knowledge, I don't really know. Much like I don't know what you'll do with the knowledge that smart toilets are real. And Undertide, Scotty laments being on the land instead of Aegir for many reasons. One of which
Green
being
eyes
the
with a
lack
W.
of automatic toilets.
Oh, so he's got
and
green
I won't
eyes.
even cap, that's a damn
green
good
and
reason
brown.
to not like Terra. But Aegir has way more advanced technology than any other nation on Terra, which is why they're able to make abyss hunters and also have bidets. Hell, their technology is so advanced that I'm halfway sure the leakers got it and are using it.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
To show us which operators are coming next. Granted, at times it isn't exactly the hardest to do, as Arknights has a really funny history with leaks, such as basically any
straight up
limited
looks like
operator
Harry
having
Potter,
their
man.
advertisement put up a bit before the release, with only a thin sheet of onion paper being used to cover it up. Cause yes, no one thinks this is Arturia. At all. Hell, even a general outline for the story of her event was leaked. You know what, let's see what else has been leaked.
Notable mention, Beagle confirmed to be alive in Fang's Falls, but it's 1099 main crews and Lava's altars were in 1100 plus. Beagles still can die between this year.
Delphine, W's icon, Texas altar was, and her event taking place in Siracusa, Yato altar, and Noir Corn altar, with their drip drop 2. You official being an operator, Poziomka's skin, shoe was leaked from a content creator site. There's also train advertisement details. That's right, not even the ads themselves. Now, the plans to advertise them. Hell, at this point, I'm literally just going through Arknights CN info dump, link to their Twitter in the description. They post a lot of useful info about the game and actually spoiler leaks. But this is really only a smidge of the amount of content that's been leaked. Though the most interesting link to know about is the one that talks about many operators we are still yet to get. Skip to here if you don't want to be spoiled on them. But when Arturia was leaked far in the past, 6 others were data mined as well. Phoenix, Dashin, Snowfox, Sankat, Ba, and the 7th is March. Get it? Now these sprites were put into the game more than a year ago, but the only one we've really seen is Arturia. But something that's interesting is that Phoenix was leaked to buff Abyssal Hunters, and in Adrena's profile she mentions an operator called Incandescence. Now it's important to note that even though the game files calls her Phoenix,
really
that isn't what her name really is.
Take the time with that shit, yeah. They really do. I still can't get over that a character got shown off and then it took 2 years for the banner. That's just crazy.
They spell it as PHX.
Not even like a leak, even like officially shown off.
An operator's code name. I probably could have worded that one better. Though, take Spectre. In the code, she is called Ghost, and Spectre Altar is called Ghost 2. And that was something.
So, like, don't get me wrong, I know there's some like horny stuff, but like, how can you look at skins like that and think that's goonery compared to some of the stuff that you've got in some games?
Saw in the code which leaked us getting an alt for Spectre before she was released. So it's possible Phoenix can be Incandescence, but we'll have to see. I mean, we'll see.
Playing the long game, the negative edge in it, eh?
Time will tell. And with all that being said, let's move on to Layer 5.
As you would say, they could have cancelling, yeah.
For the start of Layer 5, let's begin talking about something I love, PvP and War Crimes. For IS3, there was a bingo lockout done by Lungman Dragons and officially sponsored by Yostar. To enter into the bingo, you needed to clear the qualifications by doing any of these 3 challenges to make a bingo while following these rules. Based on speed, the top 8 would be selected, with each line, column, and diagonal having their own top 8. Then, past the qualifications, there was day 1 and day 2 till a winner was announced. For day 1, there were 16 tiles on a board, with each tile given its own amount of points. The first to get over half the points, or the one who has the most points when time runs out, is considered the winner. Day 2 had a similar system, but with 25 tiles instead. The matches were players speedrunning IS3 whilst achieving those challenges on the board. And at the end of it all, the winner of Bingo Lockout 2 was Dr. Yotes. And a similar challenge was done by Viper. Remember we talked about him prior, the Reaper of Arknights accounts.
They got on together as well. That is the yin and yang right there, yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting. There is a lore video with general timeline of the World of Terror. I have faith that HG has got a good solid timeline down, not like FNAF. I think, actually, I saw a video that I added to my watch list, actually, from a creator where they did that. It wasn't like voiced or anything, but like I looked at some of their other videos and I don't know what language they were speaking. It wasn't English though, so I was like, oh, I couldn't watch the rest of them. But I think I saw, I might have added that to a watch later, actually. I don't know if that might be the video you're talking about. I'm not too sure.
He made a series called Arknights Challengers, in which many players battled to see who could be the #1 spot. The rules are simply laid out in a 16-page document, which is still shorter than this current script. Long story short, 5 stages are selected. A TO flips a coin, and the winner selects the stage they want to use. The loser then gets to select the next stage until someone wins on 2 stages, with grands needing the winner to win 3 stages. Each player is able to select 5 ops to ban, and then they play to see who can complete the stage first. All in all, these 2 are really damn cool events, as it usually feels like the global side of the player base doesn't get to experiment too much with the game's challenges. Due to the fact that CN is 6 months ahead, anything like contingency contract or the crack demon that was pinch out are usually thoroughly explored before.
Yeah, it's all the metas worked out, all the intricacies of the stages and all that sort of stuff are done, aren't they? Experimented on, and the best ways to clock it are already all done by the time you even get your hands near the content, aren't they? So yeah, that's cool.
Global gets to mess around with it. So it's nice seeing global players making their own challenges and competitions for the game. I mean, shit, another example is Arknights having its own speedrun category, and even a Discord server that discusses speedrunning for the game, either sharing vids of it or tips for it. Link in the description in case you'd like to get into Arknights speedrunning. And damn, I never thought I'd be able to say that for a mobile-only gacha game, but yeah, here we are. Much like I never expected Tupac would be canon in one. So remember when I brought up the Emperor and said how much of a chat he was?
Oh my days, bro. Every time I see this dude, he just gets cooler and cooler. Dude didn't just come in fucking back end out drifting around the corner, right?
Well, he quite literally has a shirt with Tupac's face on it. Hell, it even says... well, it doesn't say his name, and it says Tupac, but you get the idea. The reason why he has a shirt is very simple. The Emperor is amazing. Tupac was amazing. There need be no other reason. Another amazing thing was when Arknights was nominated for a Grammy. The 2023 Ambient Synthesasia concert was nominated and actually won the award Live Concert for Visual Media, which was amazing because it meant W actually pulled a W. Because last time her operator song, Renegade, was nominated for Best Original Song, Video Game, and she dead lost that shit to a League song. Understandable though, League songs kinda slap. But she was able to pull the W on her second nomination. It was a beautiful moment to witness. The global players were hyped, the CN bros were celebrating with us. As a community, we were all so proud this little game we picked up 3 years ago had done something so amazing that not many games can say they've achieved. They won a Hollywood award for the concert they made to celebrate with the fans of the game.
Okay.
And as a reward to celebrate this historic milestone, we got a roll and a half. Bro, I swear to God, they've given us more due to low-light sneezing in the past. What the fuck? Okay, let's talk about the fake ads instead. Now this one's actually wholesome. A Bilibili creator called Rhodes Bakery of Honey Biscuits made a full-blown fake advertisement live stream for 4.5. Mind you, they didn't try to fool anyone that it was an official live stream. It was fully a fun fan-made project. They came out with a PV trailer, a medal list, fan-made E2s, fan-made operators performing on stages, fucking somehow, art for the live stream, fan-made skins that contained an outfit which made me actually want to build May, making Leslie look like even more of a badass. The best looking Ines skin that if it was just ripped one for one, I would dead spend 21 or under.
Okay, insane levels of effort for what? That's insane.
On it. The casual drip Lynn and motherfucking Gilgamesh Malinar, which is live 2D, and I'm like 99% sure they got someone to voice act new lines for it. The amount of time and effort put into this video is insane. And keep in mind, all of this was done days before we got the PV for 4.5, so it's not like they had a ton revealed they could work off of. I won't cover any more of it in this video though, because I want people to watch it on Bilibili. The link is in the description alongside
most dedicated fake leak ever, for real?
Which linked directly to the other people who worked on the project. I cannot fathom how much work was done to make this a reality, but I can easily say it was one of the best Arknights related videos I've ever seen. Stand proud, Bilibili content creators, you can all cook. Meanwhile, all the channels that steal content from Bilibili can please exit the community in the quickest fashion possible. So I want to keep this iceberg wholesome.
Yeah, this is a thing that I've seen. This isn't just this happens a lot, right? People just reposting Bilibili content thinking, I'll never get caught. No one's gonna see that anyway, because EN don't go over there, CN don't come over here. We're good to go.
Of course, talking about serious subjects was something I wasn't gonna avoid, but at the same time, I don't wish to bring up drama that really leads nowhere except bitterness. But when it comes to people who steal and re-upload content from Bilibili on YouTube, then it does need to be brought up as it's an important topic for a serious problem. Now, in case you do not know, there exists and has existed
definitely chocolate. I think all
for profit on YouTube.
I think all games that are big in CN get this stuff happening. To be fair,
original creator's permission.
Probably happens the other way, right? Vice versa as well.
And also, do not accuse anyone of doing something like that with no proof just because they uploaded a Bilibili video. As again, some channels like Tactus ask for permission and give the revenue to the original creator. Now, with that being said, let me talk about the funniest case of a channel that stole Bilibili content. So they ripped that shit, downloaded it, then hit upload on the MP4. In the description, they gave some brief link to the channel on Bilibili, said they had permission, they fucking didn't, then ran ads on it and gained money from the videos that lacked even the tiniest shred of their own work or talent being put into it. Then they took this shit a step further. They decided to upload event trailers and run ads on them. Now, some creators do that like Casual Team, but the thing is, they don't run ads on them. But that channel decided to not only profit off the hard work of Bilibili creators, but they also decided to do that shit to Hypergryph, the company that makes the game. Which, yes, is is incredibly dumb. I don't even think a tweaking
Asking for
crackhead
trouble.
would make that decision. But worry not, for they decided to somehow one-up that shit. They took the entirety of the first Ambient Synthesasia concert and re-uploaded that shit on YouTube before it was officially available. And even ran ads on it.
Wow. So they didn't even just rip it, they pre-ripped it basically. Holy shit.
Now the best part about this is, at that time, the only way to watch the video about the
That's gotta be, that's probably gotta be somebody, is that somebody CN based then, do you reckon, doing that?
concert was by having a premium Bilibili account, basically YouTube Premium. Now of course you can easily watch the official upload for free now as it's been uploaded to YouTube, but back then it was a big deal. And overnight Hypergryph really just said, imaginary technique, you're banned. And fucking eviscerated that channel, fully deserved. Out of all the examples of channels that have ripped off Bilibili creators, this is by far the funniest one. The less funny part is the amount of clones I found whilst researching this. I was gonna come on in and make a joke like, oh, I had to search past like 10 other channels that have done the same thing. Yeah, only problem
I know you can pay for the access. I was just thinking the chance.
Understatement. Looking into it, there have been many examples of channels being made that just re-upload CN creators as videos and make a profit off of it. Thankfully, the community is pulling a low-tier god and stomping out these channels, but they keep coming back despite us knowing their game because they keep smelling that syrup of the YouTube ad revenue. It's a problem. One that many people have put painstaking hours to see fixed.
Revenue works differently on Bilibili, doesn't it? I don't think you don't get paid by ad revenue on Bilibili, do you? You get paid like it's just straight sponsor stuff, I believe, right? So it's all about like cultivating good connections with corporations to get paid. Yeah, I could be wrong, right? Maybe you can get paid via the premium stuff. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I don't think creators earn ad revenue, do they? The same as what you do on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure on that though, actually. I'm probably talking out my arse.
But will probably continue to exist as it's really easy to do and get money from. Hell, if one channel gets found out, create another in the same week. You already got the MP4s, the only thing stopping you is your upload speeds. Which is why as a community, it's best we continue to expose the channels who have actually done wrong. Don't falsely accuse people. And kindly tell stealers to never browse the internet again. And within the spirit of having shit robbed, let's talk about what happened with DMC. When it came time for the Capcom collab announcement, when we finally had a stream to tell us just what it would be about, we waited with bated breath as they first talked about Reclamation algorithm, and as they showcased the trailer for it, we heard it. The DMC5 main menu and voice play in the background. This made it.
PGR's having a
so hyped that we got
DMC collab,
we only knew it as a Capcom collab. That shit could have been anything from Dead Rising to Mega Man or Resident Evil, but most, myself included, wanted DMC. And that music gave us hope for that shit to be crushed in favor of giving us a Monster Hunter collab. Which, there wasn't anything wrong with that. In fact, it's pretty much a beloved collab. But the music playing really just set us up for disappointment. Evidently, that shit was a mistake. It was not meant to play. I like to imagine that an employee at Hypergryph was hyped thinking we got a DMC
that's
collab,
a big mistake.
And when they heard internally
that's
that it was just
mistake.
Monster Hunter, they dejectedly fired up DMC5 to practice some virtual combos, and accidentally had the menu sound play on stream. That's probably not what happened, but that headcanon helps me cope in knowing that I wasn't the only lost soul on that day. So that's what I'll say was the case. Another thing that was robbed from us was Beta Kelshi.
Intern
no,
dummy,
I'm not talking
right?
about the abomination that is Happy Kelshi
You
from
just
Enfield. That
nerfed your career, buddy?
I'm instead talking about how Kelshi was available as a unit in the beta version of the game, but on release she just disappeared until we got her during Sculptor's event, which means that it took till the end of the world before she would even allow the Doctor to command her in battle. True ex-wife energy right there. But in beta she played much differently. Monster was still summoned for her and she was still a medic, but Monster had ranged attacks now. In fact, that shit was AoE. Her first skill was a generic more attack, second made Monster hit slower but harder and slowed the enemy on hit. Then it was reworked to where her first skill was still an empowered hit, but it also stunned the enemy. The second skill still increased attack interval, but binded on hit with a small chance to stun. And if you ask me, by comparison to her beta form, they buffed the shit out of her. I mean, most beginning 6-stars on Arknights feel really basic when compared to the newer units, but my lord, I am glad they changed up her kit. They spent a bit longer in the kitchen with Kelshi, but they cooked for her release. Completely unlike how Old Days tried to cook by ripping off Arknights. So Old Days is this now dead NFT game, which for whatever ungodly reason, against the advice of any life form with an IQ above 2, they decided to trace Amiya's animation from chapter 8 for their dog shit games trailer. As to why they thought they could get away with that, I'll never be able to tell you, as I'm yet to do enough crack cocaine to put me in that same headspace. The funny part is, they decided to double down and say it was original and not traced. acting as if no one had fucking eyes, and then said that Arknights cannot sue them and they won't dare to. Naturally, them bitches got hit by the Nintendo special cease and desist. Afterwards, a great silence must have enveloped their headquarters because we heard nothing from them. They basically fell off the face of the planet. And much like what happened to War of Embers, that's a game that took really heavy inspiration for Arknights, which is code for saying they just copied stages one-to-one. I don't care to speak too much on it, as I've heard no mention of this game in the past 2 years, so it must have been vanished to beyond the Shadow Realm. Possibly because they apparently stole from Mobile Legends and Raid Shadow Legends as well. So my guess on its fate is that it either died from being an ass.
Maybe just like, which game should we plagiarize? Someone just went, yes, yes. Okay, alright, let's go then, all of them.
Game, or those three companies weren't the most pleased with their work.
Bootleg
like
A
how the
game.
community was when we saw our blatantly traced Beanstalk skin. Actually,
wow.
No, that's an overstatement. Tracing would have been better because this shit ain't tracing. It's fucking AI art that was told
that's literally just been run through the AI and prompted. Simple as that. Just gone off the image generator. You know what I mean? That ain't even just a straight up prompt.
Recreate Beanstalk skin. And as is the case with AI art, it looks like shit. And somehow that was promotional art uploaded by the Chinese version of Guild Wars 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's been taken down, as stuff like copying Arknights' character designs happens on like a bi-monthly basis, so Hypergryph is kinda used to this shit. Hell, just a bit ago, one company decided to copy Sari and Leslie's designs and Hypergryph took action against them. It happens way too often.
Interesting fingers. That's one thing that AI struggles with. His fingers, and the reason being is because when it comes to like images of people, obviously what's the main thing you see with images of people? It's faces, isn't it? It's faces and your torso. Like you don't have many pictures around where the image is like hyper focused on fingers. That's why like AI is still really working on things like fingers, and that's where like typically you'll notice AI messing up where they've like got fingers melding into each other, or just like multiple weird looking fingers, or them clipping through things. Yeah, AI is still struggling with that.
At the same time, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so fuck it. At least there's a silver lining there. One situation that held no hope or silver lining at all, though, was when Platinum had her voice changed. 3 years ago, the original voice actress for Platinum went to Yasukuni Shrine, and in a YouTube video of hers, she said that the shrine was a comfortable place with fresh air. Just a generic compliment about a place. However, the problem is what the shrine represents. It's a shrine dedicated to 2.4 million people who died in World War II. Among those 2.4 million, 1,000 of them were convicted war criminals. And I won't talk about what those war crimes entailed, but they were war crimes for a deserved reason. And that shrine entombed the bodies of Korean and Taiwanese people, which has caused even more controversy as they cannot be buried in their home soil. So by now it should be apparent what that shrine means and the controversies around it. But to most Japanese people, it's just another shrine. So it's very possible that the voice actress did not know that before going to it and just gave out a small compliment to the place, as it's the normal thing to do. And if you ask me, I'd say that she probably didn't know the history, as if she did, it would make no sense to make a statement about it on your own YouTube channel. If she knew the controversies about it, then I doubt she would upload a clip of her complimenting it. However, due to her visiting the shrine, many Chinese players were upset by that action, which sparked outrage and eventually culminated in her being fired from Arknights, Azura Lane, and
Damn, that's rough. Yeah, that's rough. Should always know your history, especially with stuff like that, I guess. Hey, you know, you can't put it too much on her, really, you know. She wasn't to know, I guess. But like that stuff, especially from World War II, is still very clear in Chinese minds. We won't get into it, but you know.
Girls Front Line, with a new voice actress taking her place.
It is what it
in terms of my thoughts on
is.
the situation, it's terrible all around. I don't believe the voice actress had any bad intentions behind going there. I'm positive she did not fully know the history of it. But at the same time, I cannot blame anyone that was outraged, as if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't be happy either. She did apologize for the visit, but to many people the damage was already done. It's a terrible situation that no one wanted to have happen, but it did, and many people were hurt because of it. It's something that's heavily political and cannot be dumbed down to some simple gacha game drama, though it is important to bring it up as it's a big event and is why on a ship Platinum has 2 JP voice lines. As I said, there really isn't any good part to this history, so let's instead lighten up the mood by talking about Sora's race. Okay, that sounds a little bit weird out loud. Take Sora's Elite 1 art. She looks like a Lupo, right? Now take her Elite 2. She's suddenly a Akadas. Her summer skin brings back the Lupo ears, but somehow they grow bigger for her Sirikusano skin. So that begs the question, what the hell is her race? A theory in the past was that she was a sanctum. She had illusion arts and used them to change her race based on who she was appealing to. She likes Texas, so she looks like a Lupo for her, whilst at E2 she looks like a goddess for the Doctor, as Amia, a goddess, is very close to them. And people said she was a sanctum because Executor...
Yeah, the Japanese government pulled her. There is no war in basing SE, basing SE in terms of history class in their curriculum. They're like, war? What?
Has a relative that is very proficient in illusion-based arts, so people thought that was Sora. 4 years later, we know that wasn't referring to Sora, but instead to Arturia. Though Sora does have proficiency in illusions from what Orchid has said, so it's possible that she might have been able to make her halo and wings invisible and then throw on Lupo ears, but at the same time, there's evidence against her being a sanctum, like in Crota Brawl, where she asked the greatest waifu in the game, Exia, what it's like putting on a hat. If she was a sanctum and bound by the law, there would be no reason to ask that. And due to how sancta can feel each other's emotions, Exia would have...
For real, I feel you there. Like, what is it like? I've got other questions, but we're not going to go over them again.
Immediately call her out online. So, what I believe is the case is that Sora does use illusion arts to change what her race appears as. She appears as a Lupo because of her appreciation, code word for being gay as hell, towards Texas. In the past, Texas saved Sora after she was kidnapped, and because of that, Sora heavily looks up to her. It's very likely she wants to be more like her, which is why she made...
There's so many Chinese movies and TV shows about the Japanese occupation of China. It's so tiring. Yeah, well, it's, you know, it's like, the same of America as well, isn't it? Like, you know, a lot of the time when it comes to America, though, there's a very a one-dimensional aspect when it comes to a lot of American movies in regards to World War II. But like, you know, I can understand it to a degree because, you know, terrible things happened in China. Terrible things. Terrible things happened in the entirety of World War II, of course. Like, but you know, we won't get into it. But like, JP were incredibly brutal in their expansion in World War II, and prior as well.
Made her ears look like a Lupo's to mimic Texas. In fact, one of her lines even says this. To me, that's basically her saying that Texas knows her ears are fake, either because when Texas saved her in the past she had different ears, or because Sora shared her reasons to appear with Lupo ears instead of her normal ones. So we know she isn't Lupo guaranteed, or else she wouldn't hide her race. But we've never seen her front as a different race, ever. Her reason for hiding her race is to appear as a Lupo because of her admiration for Texas, which is why I believe her actual race is Goddess, as we've never seen her impersonate a different race other than Lupo, and there's no goddesses she admires like Texas, so there's no reason for her to don the bun. But that's like just my theory. And another Arknights related theory is the one that the sky is fake. I mean, okay, that's a dead lie. We know that it is. But prior to Lone Trail, there was only some stuff here and there that gave us the idea, such as a
that tail looked like it come from the back of the chair, man. I'm feeling there's a hole.
Stars, or how it's impossible to navigate the waters via following the stars. Therefore, lighthouses are essential. And there's also a hard limit on how high an airborne vehicle can go without getting destroyed. Even the birds have an instinct telling them not to go higher. Pretty. Back then, we just had little bits here and there that told us the sky was fake, but not why. That is until Lone Trail came. Skip to here if you want to avoid spoilers. Though we found out that the sky is fake due to a barrier that prevents things from coming in or going out. This barrier also warped light so people couldn't accurately observe what was beyond it, thus leading...
I remember you guys telling me about this actually. This is about the observers. She's wrapping a long tail.
...to the inability of accurately charting the stars. That is until Christine Wright blasted a hole through the fake sky, the star pod, to finally accurately observe what lies beyond Terra. And when she opened the star pod, people were able to see one of the twin moons clearly for the first time. We do not know precisely why the star pod was created. One theory is that it was made to prevent Organium from leaving Terra. Another was that it's a defensive measure to prevent the disaster from above that wiped out the Ancients. We may not know why the fake sky was made yet, but I could say that it was amazing.
I wonder if this side of things will start to learn more about in Enfield. You know, since it's in a different, you know, different planet. Do you reckon?
Seeing the truth of the sky be revealed in Lone Trail. Because for 3 years, we always had little bits of knowledge to tell us about it, but nothing confirming how it was fake. So seeing it be revealed felt like the culmination of various bits of lore in Arknights.
Feels like it's designed specifically to fit into Enfield and have a bit more of an emphasis in there, you know? Like, it'd be weird if that didn't become a factor, because it feels like, you know, it's perfectly set up to, you know, to be connected to it, to expand on it, I guess.
It's all paying off at once. And other bits of lore I really love are the Bloodline of Combat skins. They're a sort of brand of clothing, not necessarily like Korokos, which is swimsuits, or a poke, which is some of the most fire shit ever.
So bad.
It is instead clothing
Badass,
made by
I mean.
Rhodes Island
Not
for
bad,
war
not
crimes.
good,
I mean,
good.
it was made to
I mean,
suit the
good.
operators as best as possible. The Bloodline of Combat Skins is gear that is best for an operator, and it has a specific meaning behind it, showing an operator at the pinnacle of their strength. For Angelina, it's when she is able to warp reality between her fingers. For Beagle, it is before her march in Bolivar, when as a soldier, she has gotten the strongest. Helliger shows his time in the Blood Peak campaign with his best friend
fact,
behind him.
a song from Long Charlie's in Enfield. Oh, is he?
And Gladius is right before she leads the charge to take her homeland back from the Seaborn. And this is why Bloodline of Combat is my favorite set of skins. It is raw as fuck. Now, the most important takeaway is the fact that Exia is yet to get her Bloodline skin, which means that Exia Alter is a guaranteed thing that will happen.
Reminder, Talos 2 is a moon. As an Easter egg, no, Talos 2 is Talos' moon. It's not another planet. Well, it's another body, isn't it? It's a satellite. It's not the same planet. You know, you're out in space, so you're outside of that fake sky, aren't you? Favor, I remember it being mentioned that Terra only has one moon, but because of the fake sky, the moon line reflects on the fake sky barrier, which makes it look like Terra 2 has 2 moons. Ah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I was going to say it's a gas giant, isn't he? Song's called Blues With You. You should check it out. I might have a look at that, actually.
In the future, and I am not huffing stray copium. Much like how many simps were huffing copium when people were talking about Mudrock X Logos. So, this ship is hilarious. It became a thing when we saw Logos save Mudrock from Lithania casters. He was in the area, saw her squad getting hunted, and decided to save them and bring them to Rhodes Island. He saved her life, which caused many people to ship the two of them, as whenever it comes to fiction, simply exchanging pleasantries is enough of a foundation to write the raunchiest 40-page sex scene. Now, thing is, some Mudrock simps went the way of FGO players
40 pages! Bruh.
and weren't the most happy about the ship. When I mean some, it was really a negligible amount, but it was still really fucking funny. However, here's my advice to any of you who are going the way of that one Limbus Company reviewer: touch grass, but also remember Sigma Rule 99. If Mudrock loves Logos and you cannot handle that, then you take the Sigma route. You fuck Logos too. From there, you got 2 birds with 1 stone. There's no need to complicate matters. This is simple math. And with that sage wisdom, let's move to layer 6, Dorothy's conspiracy. You see, Arknights Global has a history of choosing events like how I choose which drug I take before writing a video. That is to say, it includes a bottle of bourbon and a dartboard. Because of this, the event list we see from CN South,
I saw you messing up, man. You need an upper. You need an upper.
that is more of a very loose guideline to whatever the hell they plan to do on Global. At times we make an event or 2 later than what was planned, but even with that being said, nothing could have prepared us for the Dorothy psyop that was about to happen. Here's the event list for CN. CC9, Undertides, 2 gay German goats, and then Dorothy's Vision. Here's how it was for Global. Undertides, CC9, Yaoi and Lithania, Ideal City for whatever reason, fucking Trails for Navigators, CC10, To Be Continued, The Solace Goddamn Holiday, and finally, 2 months after when it was supposed to happen, Dorothy's Vision. That shit was meant to drop mid-January if we followed CN's schedule, but it dropped mid-March. Now you may question to yourself, why the hell did they do that? Well, that's where the Dorothy conspiracy comes in. Now, some fools speculated it was so events didn't overlap, so Global had its anniversary on time, or maybe because the Rhineland manga hadn't been fully translated yet, but no one could have prepared them for the truth. The truth was that Yostar believed Dorothy's banner wouldn't pull in that many roles. They thought interest was low, so they would hold her event back for 2 months to make people desperately wish to pull her, cause God only knows what the hell they were playing.
They're acting as like a hype man then. Okay. They were edging people to want to go in.
For the delay of her rerun. The interest in the
they
rat
did
was
spook me
low,
recently.
but by making people question, where at? For 2 months, they drove interest in her event sky high. People were making memes, art of her being held in event jail. The plan was working. And when her banner dropped for global, they got the entire budget for Parrish and Frost. Or not, because evidently the revenue they got in that month didn't change at all. Regardless, I would choose to believe that.
Okay, so it was a 5-head move that just didn't work. Yeah? Okay.
That the Dorothy conspiracy was a plan set in motion by Lowlight himself. Why?
It was too 5-head for EN. Right. It was too 5-head for EN, that's why.
It's funny. Now let's look at something Dorothy could never dream of doing, coming early. You know, I am so sorry, Dorothy Sims. I did not mean to assassinate you like that. When Invitation of Line dropped in Global, for whatever reason, Yostar added in the
I was going to say so. I'm not going to say it.
data for
I was going to say so. I'm not going to say it.
event that would take place afterwards, a light spark in the darkness.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Could have chose a shorter name, Pink Doc. And due to that, you were able to get her as a temporary recruitment in IS-2, but it was impossible to roll her as she wasn't added to the standard banner yet, nor was her banner up. If you want a reason behind why she was added early, I think I got one. Nami's immense love for Golden Glow manifested ego, and due to that, we got her early in Global. I say that with no factual foundation, but my god, does it sound a lot more hype than saying Yostar did an oopsie whoopsie. Therefore, that's what happened. One thing that was an oopsie whoopsie though is kinda how they—
Wait, what's this? Daft Punky's canon.
nerfed the Enforcer on Global. His module was dropped during the Monster Hunter collab, alongside all the other pusher modules. Thing is, to unlock his module,
Yostar
you had
just
to
being
do the first
Yostar.
EX stage of God Ahead. Thing is, the rerun was released prior to the Monster Hunter event on the CN server, but for Global, that shit was run after the Monster Hunter event. So for about 2 weeks, we had his module in the game, but it was impossible to unlock it because we need to do the first Guide Ahead EX stage that would only be
These runny boys, look at these guys.
available permanently
Oh, they're having
when
a good
the rerun
time.
dropped. And so that beautiful twink was nerfed by the nefarious Yostar schedule. Thankfully though, it didn't change much because his module was kinda dog shit. Most people were happy with getting Balance, a physical edition early anyway. And on that note, let's talk about how Monster Hunter was teased. There were 2 instances of it. First was in Monster Hunter Sunbreak. We saw the Rhodes Island symbol being used. Next was in Kiara's skin. We saw her playing Monster Hunter. And despite me knowing this, I still held out hope that it was some unrelated bullshit and we were getting DMC. Which, yeah, honestly, yeah, I probably set myself up
Yeah. To be fair, that's like some cool Easter egg foreshadowing. Literally before teasing, really. Yeah, that's a teaser of a teaser.
for that. Which on one hand may be dumb as shit, but on the other hand, I'm still kind of holding out hope we're gonna get a DMC collab in the future. Now another thing I hope we get a
Did that ever happen? Because I know PGR are getting it.
collaboration of in the future is from Michael Jackson due to Jessica's moonwalk. So this was a bug in which you hold over Jessica
Let's pretend we don't notice.
To do it, here's what you needed. You had to get Jessica one shot.
Nah.
From there, like a cop, you had to plant weed. I mean, place down Weedy and prep her S3 to hit with her turret. Then activate
His bro just bops in the lung with a glass of wine.
her S3, and right before it hits, kill Jessica. This will cause his ass to go flying, even off the goddamn map. From there, homie's in the goddamn shadow dimension. Given enough time, he will return somehow. But before that, if you got a character with global range, even though he may be in a pocket dimension, you can still pop him.
You're more confused when the video started, Neil.
This strat. Could have, because the bug was fixed rather quickly, but I'll be damned if it wasn't funny to do. It was also fun to see Hypergryph sneak in a Daft Punk reference. This plaque from Heart of Surging Flames is a reference. It shows the helmets and references get lucky. But Heart of Surging Flames didn't stop there with the references. It also referenced Queen and its stage names. Killer Queen, Break Free, Don't Stop Me Now. Hell, that ain't even it for all the stage name references that exist.
Man, I will say, yo, the Arknights devs are cultured, aren't they? You know? From like sci-fi fantasy stuff to music to clothes to just like European African history, global history. These are some based devs. I respect it.
Lingering Echoes of stage names reference a shit ton of classical music, and So Long Adele references nursery rhymes, which is a funny dichotomy because we got Eben, the emo goat who only listens to classical masterpieces, and then Afialo, the wholesome happy goat who falls asleep listening to nursery rhymes. Or, at the very least, tries her best to listen to the rhymes as she falls asleep. But depression
we are diverse. For real, man.
So
I respect it, I like it.
Combat skin actually helps you in gameplay. Now you may think to yourself, that's some bullshit, as who wants his skin to outright make a character better? And why couldn't it be her summer skin, which is infinitely hotter? Well, thing is, The way it buffs Angelina
She's
isn't
got some
because it makes
fucked
the
up
attacks
feet.
faster or anything like that, but it does make it so you can kill the enemies before her non-skin counterparts. The reason being, her Bloodlight of Combat skin points her staff a little closer to the enemy. Due to that, the projectile has a smidge less distance to travel before hitting the enemy. Now, is this
No way.
actually pay to
That's
win?
insane.
Homie, I'ma keep it 100. If you are paying to win with Angelina, let me just tell you about a little ice cream monster called Suitor. It being pay to win is a meme because the increase is negligible and so is Angelina's combat ability. I am sorry for saying that one. However, let's look at the opposite, a pay to lose skin belonging to the Abyss one, Platinum. Her skin does the same thing as Angelina's. It reduces the travel distance between your arrow and the enemy's cranium. But in the opposite way, it actually increases the distance, which may sound like a good thing because Platinum gains more attack the longer she spends in between attack intervals, but it's a little more complicated than that. So depending on the distance she gets a kill at, she may ready her next attack quicker. If the enemy is further away in the yellow area, and she kills them, she readies the next attack quicker, which means that it will do less damage because of her talent. But if she doesn't get a kill in that distance, the time in between hits will be the exact same. More specifically, it's tied to the travel
So literally until she getting the kill, it's just worse.
time of the arrow in the air, and that's why frame rate could also fuck you over, but simplifying it, more range equals bad. Now the reason the skin hurts in this context is because since she moves a little further back, that distance to where if she gets a kill it makes her attack quicker gets increased slightly, making it easier to have the bug activate, causing times where she will not kill an enemy because of her skin being on. If you want a much more in-depth breakdown, there is a link to the Reddit post for this bug and Angelina's, as I only went over the bare minimum to keep it small, like Platinum's chest. On the topic of Platinum, let's talk about the characters who are canonically a
Damn, bro, roasting the itty bitty titty committee.
part of the Doctor's Harem, as yes, this is very important information to discuss. So Platinum is on that list as she grew to like the Doctor after they saved her from the Armless Union. Gravel is too. In fact, her intro dialogue is her literally making out with the Doctor, though the mask.
Alright, we're getting into the tail law now. You're firing shots for no reason, yeah, man. Everybody catching strays? Everybody catching strays? We're getting into the tile law. Okay, alright. I've got a weird obsession with the tails. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd.
Always stays on, so it was probably closer to the Doctor watching the equivalent to a fish sucking on glass as opposed to a full-blown kiss. Angelina
Chat, I don't wanna hear any hear me outs in regards to that fish.
also loves the Doctor, and so does Blue Poison. Unfortunately, that love has a table and bird combo to overcome. There's also Scotty.
Carpenter's dream, flat as a board and easy to nail.
Mentioned in Undertide, she smiles a little. Granted, her alternate form killed all life on Terra because of that love, which maybe isn't the most wholesome, but we could ignore that.
You can't
Moonwell
stop
loves
me.
the Doctor as well,
Okay,
because
hear me
read Lone Trail, that's all the info
No,
you really need. The
not
last
hearing
wholesome
it,
side of
chat.
that one though is Holahak, and the pinnacle of them all is Exia. The only foundation I have behind saying that is how she calls the Doctor her savior, but to me, the most insane Exia simp, her simply saying she's going to a hospital
Already
is
did you
enough
know?
reason for me to ship her with the Doctor. Now there are some maybe ones like Penance, Reed, and Dorothy, but the ones I've mentioned, especially Exia, are the most blatant ones. They're almost as blatant as the whale skeleton. So in case you don't know, this is a pic of the Rhodes Island landship. And when you flip it around, it's the skeleton of a big-ass whale. Now,
Oh,
funny
shit,
thing
yeah.
about that, Chapter 13 cinematic
yeah.
shows
I
a
remember
very
that.
similar whale. Apparently, I say apparently as we don't got the event on Global yet, it's the bones of Aphernima, a god in Arknights. Now, turns out, this bitch can teleport to a different dimension. I don't know what the connection is between this whale and the one in Rhodes Island, despite the fact that they look the same. I also don't
That's fucking cool, that is. That is cool.
know how that teleport shit works because we're yet to get the event, but it may be possible that in the future we can teleport to a different dimension, and hopefully by
Literal bones of a god. Still, that's insane. I like that.
then the base will be out of beta. We all know it won't be. Just like how we all know Arknights creators
say
will
it's
get
still in
hacked.
beta.
So this is an actual serious topic. Throughout the years, many Arknights content creators have gotten their channels hacked. Dreamy did in the past, Tactus too.
Okay.
Nakugitsune, Isaac Wolf, Beyond, hell, even I got a scam email. At least I'm pretty sure it was, because the link's URL says this when you hover over it.
Yeah, that's right, man. You gotta be careful as a content creator. I get so many of these sort of emails, you know? I just ignore them all. You know, I've probably ignored legit sponsorship deals in the past, you know? I just ignore them all, man, if I'm honest. I ignore them all. The only one that I think recently was legit was a Girls from Line 2-1, but I'd missed it. I'd already missed it. So, yeah, but I get a couple of these a week, man.
And if it ain't a scam, then BlueStacks, you need to step up your game. But I got this email back when I created like 7 videos on Arknights.
The real base update is Enfield all along, right? It came into beta for the next game.
And I got one. I don't know why this is the case, but it seems Arknights creators...
This happened to Skull CJ as well, didn't it?
Thankfully, in every case where someone got scammed, the entire community banded together, informed people on what happened, tweeted to YouTube, and made sure the creator who got hacked...
You know what, as well, I've got to say shout out to the Arknights community is here as well. This is me glazing you guys, okay? So you got to enjoy the glaze, yeah. You guys have been awesome about that. The people who've like been like, oh, dude, let's listen to some music, some videos. Oh, don't listen to that one. It's copyright. Oh, listen to it. You listen to it and mute it for the stream and we'll just enjoy it like kind of thing. That is really cool. There's not many communities that go to that level, you know? And I appreciate that. As a content creator, audience is understanding that part of it. Like of, oh, dude, yeah, don't want to watch that one, bro. It's gonna get you nuked. Yeah, man, big W. You guys are repping the game. Really good. So yeah, get a little bit of glazing, chat. A little bit of glazing. Enjoy it.
Act was fine. It's shitty to see happen, but it is heartwarming for the community to come together like that and help the person who was affected. It really shows how amazing this community is. With that being said, let's move into layer 7. Low lights, at your service.
You make me blushing. The Hyperglazer. We are Arknights. Yeah, man, I love it. I do. I've never had that from a gaming community ever.
They said
like,
they were a big
I've actively had some people like, I don't matter, man. Just watch it. It's all easy for you to say, bro.
Hypergryph basically said in response to that, hey yo, good shit homie, say less, we'll hop you on the next CC. I may have paraphrased a little, but you get the point. So they had them create some work for Operation Cinder. The composer suggested a song similar to Strayer from Taishi, and Hypergryph followed that up by wanting another song similar to Calling from Rejection. Fast forward a bit, Hypergryph got the music from the composer and went, right, that shit works, we move. Turns out, the music was plagiarized. And not from any wacky source, nah, it was plagiarized from the damn references themselves. I do not know how the hell quality control missed that shit, but they found a way. Then naturally, people brought up how the music was plagiarized. Hell, that shit was brought up the same day the CC dropped. And the person who, I'm gonna put heavy quotations around this one, made it, dead said Hypergryph told him to copy it, due to Hypergryph suggesting a reference. The truth was that they are meant to be used as references, but not copied from. Now, this may seem weird to do all this bullshittery, because the person...
Okay, so bro really didn't get the idea. Yeah, it was like, this is what we kind of wanted, you know, is a reference inspired by this. Dude's like, say less, got ya. Just copy, paste. I mean, listen. Yeah, I got that. Awesome. Let's go.
Originally said they were a fan of the game, so why are they doing all this shit? Turns out, they fucking hated the game. And I ain't talking about some little...
I like that stream of Hyperglaze is right. Yeah, I like that.
Despised it. They were well known on Weibo, basically Chinese Twitter, for hating on Arknights. And the plagiarism plot was meant to hurt the company's reputation because they just hated Arknights that much. Then in Hypergryph's statement on the matter, they stated how...
That's wild to me, like, where people do, like... Because obviously we see that all the time, you know, like in the Woo space and the Genshin space, like that going at each other, like that hatred for a video game. It's so weird, you know. It's just so weird. It's like I get not liking a video game, maybe not even liking the company, maybe even having a bit of a disdain for the way the company does business or the things they've said and practices they've had. But like to hate a video game to that degree. Legit unhinged, as you say.
The contract said that all content provided by the other party must be original content, so they fired him. The actual impact of the drama didn't result in much after Hypergryph's statement. They basically aired out all the concerns and showed that the person copied these songs without Hypergryph's permission or want. From there, they dropped the songs from the game in the OST CD, replaced that CC's music, and launched a ballistic missile at the plagiarist's house. Hell, they want to stick Gummy on their ass. And in case you don't know what I mean by that, and are confused why they would send Supa's favorite character in fiction at a weirdo, let me explain her habit. So Gummy has a habit is a line that is said a ton in Children of Ursus. The explanation of the habit goes like this. Gummy has a habit. If she chops twice. If she chops thrice, the chopping board will break. She will suck the last bit of toothpaste before brushing. When hungry, Gummy will bite what's nearest. If not... Now, these habits point to a very dark truth. The truth is that she has eaten human meat before. The chops...
Okay. Alright. She looks so innocent as well.
She does are a way to cut through bone. One slash to get to the bone, the next is start a chip in it. then the third to break through it. That's why her third hit is so strong. The habit of sucking toothpaste is a reference to sucking blood or bone marrow from bones in place of water.
Yeah. Finishing it off. Yeah, I'm not even going to say it.
And the habit of her being hungry is self-explanatory. The reason she had to eat human meat is because in Chernobog, Patriot ordered that the kids be locked in the school to protect them. The only problem with that was how Mephisto ended up in charge of that operation.
So she's a kid as well. And she's, damn. That's insane. See, I hate to keep going on about Wua, right? I hate to keep going on about Wua, but like, can we have some of this, Kuro? Can we have some of this? You know? Mukbang, you know. Fucking mukbang, you know. Oh, shit.
Due to the fact that Mephisto was a rat bitch who deserved everything that happened to him, they didn't have the greatest time under his rule. And during that time, the food warehouse burned down. They weren't given any more.
No, I want Kuro to have some like dark, gritty stuff, man. You know, they're just too afraid to like go lean in that much.
Food either, so there was only one thing that could be done. She didn't want to eat humans, but it was either that or starvation. Due to the trauma she developed in Chernobog, she now has her habits. She isn't the only one hurt by that time either.
Got some dudes head on a silver platter for Christmas last year.
Was defecting to the aristocrats. Zima thought she was doing the right thing and fighting against the aristocrats.
She looks at you like a snack.
Led to the food storage being burned down. Now she has immense guilt and will not forgive herself. And Rosa regrets the choices she made as the leader of the aristocrats, believing she was kind and noble until seeing the reality of how she treated the civilians. That instead she was cruel and evil. Due to this, she has tried to commit suicide many times.
To be fair, friends ate human meat too. Gummy's just the one who cooked it.
That is what happened in Children of Ursus. However, the main message of the story is that even though that happened to them, they are still looking towards the future to overcome their trauma. It's a story that says even in crushing circumstances, hope will continue forward. Which is also why Gummy's habits disappear when she is with Zemo.
Cannibalism is another Tuesday in Arknights.
She wants to smile, to be happy, to help them. Despite what happens prior, she doesn't wish to see them sad. That is the story of Arknights.
Really like her design, chat, man. This is a nice design. This is a really cool design. What is it, Natalia? Yeah, I like that.
Even in the most depressing situations,
I can fix it, get mold instead.
But there are a lot of depressing situations, like collapsises. Her name is Joyce Moore, and she decided to partake in an experiment.
Is that like you sleep over and you wake up and she's lying next to you in bed or on the floor, and you're like, oh, that's cute. And then you realize, wait a minute, snakes do that. I'm not saying she's a snake, but snakes do that, don't they? You know, and measure you up like, yeah, that'll fit. That'll fit.
The test if Originium could store past memories. If so, people can study Terra's history through Originium, which is why she signed up for the experiment, to have an Originium device implanted onto her brain. If the operation was successful, they could see so much of Terra's history. However, the experiment did not go as planned. A failsafe activated which kept her alive, but she was changed permanently. She now hears
Would you be with a woman or a bear in the forest,
a voice in her head that does not speak any known languages. And to
bro, remember when that was going around the net,
man? To speak like a machine, which is why she talks the way she does. The experiment was deemed a pioneering achievement, but Joyce Moore was significantly hurt as a result of it. Now naturally, after an experiment that changed someone's entire life for the worse was just conducted, the person who did that had the really genius idea of, let's do that shit again, because they want to figure out what the voice in Talopsis' brain is. All in all, I think we could say it together, fuck Columbia. Let's instead talk about something worth theorizing on, the Sarkaz caster leader. So this slacker, I mean esteemed member of Reunion, appears
of course, I will pick the female
nowhere. They are listed in the Dark Knight's Memoir Annihilation enemy list, but they don't actually appear in the stage, or at all. In no stage over the course of the game's lifespan has this motherfucker appeared. Until recently. In a stage for Reclamation algorithm, they finally appeared. As to why it took them years to come out, I don't know. Maybe they were getting milk, maybe they saw Sutra in the medic arm she has and said, I ain't dealing with that shit. Or maybe they
throw me to the bear and I'll return a father, you know.
They were just too busy being an otaku with Hordier. We don't know. But after years, they finally exist, and it is not beautiful in the slightest. I won't even hold you. The regular versions are annoying as shit. I don't need the buffed one to deal with. They could have just held them in the cage of the forgotten characters alongside Matoimaru, and I wouldn't have complained. But I suppose they've unfortunately finally returned after they should have appeared in Arknights Memoir. And on the topic of that, let's talk about how W came early. Remember when I said that Yostar choosing the event order involves a 3-liter bottle of Jack Daniels and a dartboard? Yeah, this is a prime example of that. So in CN, during Arknights Memoir, midway through it they got W's banner as it was Arknights' first anniversary, and they were able to roll for her, have RNG screw them, etc, etc. Now after Arknights Memoir, like 2 months after it, they got Twilight of Olamont. And in that event, there was a stage where players could use W. Even if you didn't have her, she was available to use. Now on global side of things, we got Twilight of Walamon 2 months before the anniversary, before we could even roll for W. Mind you, that stage still existed for global players, which means that due to Yostar's unique schedule, Global got to play with W 2 months before they were even able to roll for her and have RNG screw them out of getting her. And I gotta say, Yostar, give me some of that shit you take before making the schedule. Your boy is heavily intrigued by that black market shit you got your hands on, especially whatever Hypergryph was taken when they made Frostleaf weaker after Elite 2. So, fun little fact, if you've E2'd Frostnova at home, you have inflicted permanent account damage. That's because you unlock her talent at Elite 2, which increases her attack speed interval by 0.15 seconds. But
is he still like that now then?
in return, you get a whopping 2 tiles of extra range. Yeah, this ain't no Full Metal Alchemist equivalent exchange, this shit is just ass. It is not worth it. Especially when you look at how both of her skills slow the enemy on hit. Dog, I want to be swinging with her, not regretting E2ing her. Which is why E2 makes her weaker, because you make her roll of bind and slow worse as she attacks slower whilst giving her a bit extra range.
We said what
Maybe
we said.
in the future they can make her E2 worthwhile
Did
by
I
giving
stutter?
her a god
Did I
tier
stutter?
module that gives her the ability to freeze. I mean shit, she's called Frost Leaf. But as of right now, without being able to do that, homie might as well be called Summer Breeze, as her current codename might as well be a catfish. It's tragic. Even 12F as a developer couldn't help avoid this fate. Now this one's a little bit of a bait entry, but the reason it's here is because 12F is the hexadecimal for Lowlight's birthday, February 16th, 1991. In hexadecimal, it's 12F CE 48. Now, 2 interesting things about 12F is that Lowlight made his design back in 2014. And in the artwork, you can see the person who speculated to be his friend, Owl, in the art. But the more interesting thing is how he was in the final secret cutscene of Chapter 8. In it, 12F was talking to the doctor, but the final...
Now, my guy's never sleeping on his back. Never. This guy's a side or front sleeper. Or he just sleeps on a hard floor. Because he's going through pillows like nobody's business.
But they said, provided you chose the right dialogue choice, felt like the developers talking through 12F. I won't go over all the dialogue, but you can see it here. The most important thing though is how they said the future will unfold differently depending on the choices you make. Now what that means, we don't know. It could be telling us that the Doctor will have more agency in the future chapters, which has proven to be true in stuff like Break the Ice, Vigilio, and Lone Trail. It could also be saying that the choices in Arknights may affect the later story and stuff like Enfield, or it could just be some random thoughts of a senile lizard. We don't know, but I feel like that cutscene was made with purpose. We're just yet to fully see what it means. But in the future, I'm willing to bet that we'll see what Hypergryph is cooking. For now though, let's talk about Say Gex. So Adrenal of Scatty Inspector is a little joke originating from this line. Now, it do seem high-key gay, but I won't even hold you, but it might mean something different. It might be meaning that she is the same kin as Scouty Inspector. Now, as I said prior, the Abyssal Hunters made from the blood of the Seaboard, and Andrina may be one of them. Hell, she's even in the faction on the network chart. But that begs some good questions. Why do the Abyssal Hunters not know of her? Why is she unsure of her feelings towards them? Why doesn't she have the same physical strength as them? And why does she not have red eyes and white hair? I mean, gameplay-wise, she is one. The buffs for Abyssal Hunters works on her, and even Galagia's base skill does. Where evidence stacks to show that she is one, it also builds to say that she isn't. Which is where an interesting theory comes into play. Take this line from Kelshi. The difference between Andrina on one side and Spectre and Scotty on the other is something like that between a drop of ink into clear water and a proper inkwell. The drop of ink in itself is an infringement upon the dignity of life, to the point that Kelshi expressed clear disdain for it. There are those who have reached their hands into places they do not belong. Those for whom this stupidity is very much in character. Then in the past, Andrina said she was involved in something as a child but wasn't given many details. However, currently she is often taken to a Barian court over her weapon because it looks like a gun, only to explain in court over and over that it's a crossbow taking the appearance of one. The thing is though, they shouldn't need to take her into court over and over because of that factor. Instead, it seems like they're using that as an excuse to look for something, which has made people speculate one of two things. Either she's a Barian's attempt at creating an abyssal hunter. They try to make one and it failed, but they often check back on Andrina to see the results of the experiment they did when she was a child. Or that she is the Church of the Deep's attempt at making one. We don't know for sure, but based on Kelshi's dialogue, I view either theory to be likely. It sounds about right for the shit show that is Terra, so I view them to hold a lot of water. But they're yet to be confirmed as canon. Though,
bro, I love these like Bloodborne inspired characters, man. They look so fucking good.
Her other identity, Lowlight. So this is a cosplay of Andrina. Deadass, it looks really well made. Amazing cosplay, all in all 10 out of 10 work. It's also Lowlight wearing the cosplay. That's
Did people know this before this image went up? Did like this image go out and then everybody was like, oh yeah, we know already, you know, because it was publicized, or was it just like, hey, look at this picture? Huh. What do you think? What do you think? Like, that's me. That's me.
That's right. The Pharaoh himself wore this to an anime convention in Shanghai, and the best part is, no one knew he was the one cosplaying her. They just thought it was a cosplay done by a fan, not by the person who made the game. And people didn't figure it out until the con was
cool,
over.
Though.
Homie
that is
dead
cool.
Went incognito mode with a cosplay that had
you
no
know,
reason to...
This is what I say, like, for me, what Western devs feel like there's lacking a lot now. Passion, you know? Wood. You know, I feel like this passion, like, how often do you see Western devs doing this sort of shit? You know, to the point where they're like, they enjoy their creations that much that they get involved to this level. You know what I mean? It's actually really cool to see.
Be that hard. That shit right there is deserving of respect. I hope my Foss cosplay can live up to that level of greatness. Though I'm only gonna cosplay Foss if I hit 20,000 subs before the end of February, which means your boy is safe as can be. And with me being reassured of that fact, let's move on to Layer 8, our God's Domain. And here we'll talk about another time.
Honestly, it feels like Western devs get fucked over publishing company. Yeah, definitely. Like, I'll say, I do have to like acknowledge that, you know. I don't mean all devs. It's just obviously, yeah, as you say, it's become so corporatized, hasn't it, with the big corporations, and they've just, you know, corporate aspects, agendas as well. You know, there are still many devs in the West who absolutely adore their craft and what they do. You know, it's just, I think they get drowned out, don't they? Because, you know, there's a lot of nepotism, and not even just that, like, you know, the best people for the job and not always in that job because office politics, where I feel like in the East, specifically China, it's not really like that. So the best people, you know, end up in the right places, and they're there because of passion, talent, and you know, the quality of their output, rather than having the right group think, you know what I mean? Which we have a lot of that in the West, which is a bit of a problem. It seems to be potentially we might be breaking the back of that at the minute in the West, and hopefully we do, because, you know, if you think back to like the end of the PlayStation 1 era, PS2 era, the start of the PS2 era, it was just the same in the West and Japan as well. So, you know, hopefully it can return and long may it continue.
Arknights was caught plagiarizing. So, ex-wife's design, pretty good, right? Looks nice, simple but effective drip. It gives facial expressions masochists love, and looks terrifying when she's happy. What if I told you, though, that it was plagiarized? Stolen from another, much more talented artist than the hacks that work for Arknights. Now the story begins when a screenshot surfaced of a conversation held between the greatest minds humanity has ever seen. Within that screenshot us mere mortals can never hope to understand, they say that Kelshi's design was stolen from a small Pixar artist. Their name, the name of the person who was plagiarized from, is Lowlight. That's right. The fucking creator of the game. The person who made Kelshi's design years ago as an OC and went, hey, oh, this shit slaps, I'm gonna put her on Arknights. Had Hypergryph, the company he founded, plagiarized from him. As you may suspect, maybe the brightest minds weren't the ones leading the allegations at this time.
That's actually kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny. Now these guys are based.
However,
I like it.
Lowlight, being the meme god that he is, decided to respond upon seeing this and sent out this message. I am glad this is the person making the game. I won't even hold you, he's funny as fuck. Though there is a design that was taken from another game, W's. Her design was originally in Girls Front Line because Lowlight was the art director of Mika before going his separate way to
5D chess, man. 5D chess.
make Arknights.
Not 4D, bro. Went the extra step,
You can
man.
see some of the basis
Added
for her
in a whole
design
new
in M4
dimension.
Sop Mod 2. What the hell is that name? Though more specifically, she was going to be MK18, but because the two were a little too similar, she was scrapped. Regardless, M4 is also as unhinged as W is. When you take that fact, added on to how similar the designs look, it's pretty obvious that Lowlight wanted
That's what happens when people knee-jerk stupid, right? Dude fed on that. He knew exactly what was going to happen, didn't he? And bathed, didn't he?
that design and character they made to be an Arknights. So
Just imagine him doing an evil anime laugh at his laptop, you know?
what I'm trying to say is, W is not only a cockroach, she's a knockoff. I would like to apologize for my actions on this day. Instead, let's focus on how GamePress made a Girls Frontline collaboration prank for April Fools. Yeah, look at that before acknowledging the truth. Slander I gave out about W. Let's also pivot and talk about how the bards corrupt the game. Now this was a fun little bug which involved bards that was quite frankly a damn creepypasta.
Lola, he's a founder but didn't want to get banned by CEO duty because he wants to make more games. So that's good. Shows the passion there in it, you know. Doesn't want to get bogged down in the corporate aspects and having to deal with the day-to-day running of the business and continue on with like the, you know, the creative aspect. I respect that.
Pasta. The way to trigger it was by using Sora's skill as she was speaking. From there, this creepy sound would play.
Do you want to find somebody you can trust to fill in that route then, yeah? Or that
It would
role, should I
continue
say?
until either the heat death of the universe or until the stage was completed. As to why this happened, we don't know. Which then leaves room for speculation and theories. My theory is that she's actually saying Suter has character and goes through growth, but most people are too blind to really see that. The reason it's being muffled is because Hypergryph is afraid of that truth being said out loud. And with that bomb being dropped, now's a good time to talk about how CC1 was harder for Global. So this one doubles back to the drug-infused decision making of Global's schedule. But when CC1 Operation Pirate
Lola and solo creators, I know are actually love and passionate about the game. Yeah, man. Solon and Dong as well are dope from Kuro. Massive respect for him, you know? Massive respect for him. Like I said, there is some Western devs. Who's that one dude now? I forgot his name. You know, the one who was like, fuck the Oscars. I forgot his name now. You know, like, he's one of those, you know, dudes he's super passionate about video games as well.
released for Global, we were missing some events and banners that were meant to drop before it. CN got Arknights Memoir and the first anniversary banners. Global instead got Children of Ursus and Twilight of Wallamond. So CN had Phantom, Shamari, Elysium, Weedy, and W Dance, whilst we had Rosa, Leonhardt, Absinthe, Airscape, and Arlight. And this made the CC harder to max risk, mainly because of not Phantom, he's ass, but Elysium and Weedy. Elysium helped a ton with DP because the max risk tags made it generate slow as hell. Yet he and Myrtle made that shit generate faster than Discord turning people into femboys. Meanwhile, Weedy kept the enemy solid with her very aggressive method of waterboarding the opposition. And Global couldn't do that shit. We had Rosa, who was nowhere to be found.
Discord turning people into femboys, you know.
Past risk 20, the 5 stars who might as well have been in the ethereal realm as no one was using their asses, and Suzerain, who was legitimately R-like because she was kinda cracked for this shit. The highest risk people completed was 27, and in those runs people used the max 10 squad size restriction. There was one that made it lower, but no one was able to get a high risk clear with that one. But because risk 27 runs were restricted to 10 ops, Suzerain helped a ton as she was able to do multiple roles. But most importantly, she kinda did what Elysium was able to do. Her skill 3 slows and debuffs the enemy, so she was able to do what his skill 2 did, whilst making the enemy slower and take more damage, but without the DP generation and with a much bigger timer. Though her basic attacks helped stall, and her talent 1 was a great battery for everyone. Without her, Global probably wouldn't have been able to clear risk 27, as when I say it was harder, trust me, it was much harder. I mean, look at the teams Global used for risk 27. They're all the same, because there wasn't that much room for flexibility. If Suzu wasn't released, then I don't know who could have taken her spot and enabled that run. Meanwhile, 2 CN clears didn't even use Silver Ash, they had Exia instead, and I gotta say, base choice right there. Hell, one of the CN teams didn't even have Weedy, which goes to show how much more flexibility they had in unit selection for Risk 27. Weirdly enough though, even with that being the case, both Global and CN chose these same tags for Risk 27, with the only one changing being either banning specialists and snipers or guards and casters. Global all had to go with banning specialists as
Interesting. What was the reason for that then?
there weren't many good ones, while CN had strats going either way. But for the first big contingency contract, I'm glad Global was able to keep up with CN clears despite lacking a fair bit of firepower. It actually gives me hope that
Is
EN
this
can win,
roster?
as fleeting as that hope usually is. And if you want to see the clears, link to him in the description. But for now, we'll talk about the hero of EN, Laurent. Now this person, nay, this god, blessed the community with their presence about 2 years ago. You may ask yourself, what did this deity do? And the answer to that is underneath every single video on YouTube about Arknights. Hell, as a reply to every comment under every video for Arknights, they were there. Sending messages, words of wisdom, wholesome tales, stuff the community can rally behind. Which is to say, every single comment they made was completely and utterly shitting on Arknights and anything related to it. They would say the game is dead or
Just a professional hater, yeah?
or dying, and that Genshin Impact was infinitely better. Now you may think to yourself that people possibly
It sounds like Arthur.
hated this person due to their extreme takes, but the exact opposite happened. At first, yeah, people were annoyed by them. Then they grew to love them. Because on one hand, they slandered the game every single chance they had, but on the other, what they said was funny as hell, and indirectly, it probably boosted the shit out of Arknights in the algorithm, as YouTube pushes videos more if they get a lot of comments.
Yep.
And this is where I'd like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. But due to them aiding in the popularity of Arknights and being insanely dedicated to watching videos about it, players grew to love Laurent. They made lore about them, videos detailing their accomplishments, hell, even EN
Bro got a whole ass character arc.
decided to advertise on St. Laurent Boulevard as an ode to the king. However,
Holy shit. Was that on purpose as well? Yeah.
unfortunately, YouTube committed regicide. They banned Laurent's account, possibly because of the slightly not so wholesome things they've said, but that's besides the point. However, the worst of all was that Laurent
I'm not gonna lie, speaking of that, that's getting a bit wild at the moment, man. You know, the YouTube comment moderation, it's insane. I don't know if they're testing new, algorithms, or they're using some new form of AI in regards to the content moderation, but it's getting ridiculous. The amount of comments that are getting deleted on my videos now, and I'm knowing it's not just happening to me, it's happening to other content creators. And like, I'll get a notification from a comment, right? And it's happened to the point where someone's commented on my video. I've replied to the video. It's been a totally chill comment that I've replied to, you know? And then, boom, the comments got nuked along with my reply to the comment, because I've gone back to afterwards to, like, check it. You know, sometimes I do that, you know, just in case I haven't been notified of another reply. It's like, okay, comment's just gone. It's been nuked. It's like, and it was a totally wholesome, above board, comment. And I think whatever they're testing is just like hitting so many false positives, because that's kind of what happens with YouTube. I remember, when they really started to bring in a lot of the content ID stuff, and remember the adpocalypse after the bridge incident with PewDiePie and all that sort of stuff. You were getting hit so hard. I remember when they brought in the stuff for the music as well. Like for a while, people were like literally having to turn off in-game music a lot of the time when you were playing games on YouTube, because everybody was catching strays. It's got a lot better, and I imagine it probably will with this comment stuff. But for a while, YouTube's just knocking people out for no reason at all until they calm down.
was banned after they grew to like Arknights. They went from foes
For real,
to
Kaka,
a
yeah?
beloved
Yeah,
friend,
scam ads all over the place, but you don't even say a bad word, and that's it. Yeah, that's gone.
and at the
And
end
it's
of it
gone.
all, died as a comrade. Laurent, I know you're out there. With your now level 120 Arknights account and maxed out Kelshi, I know you love the game. And brother, the community loves you. YouTube may have deleted you, but rest in peace, my king. With that out of the way,
I like you.
let's talk about Snoop.
That's some good community lore right there. That is. I like that. Moderate scam horny ads. Nah, we moderate random comment instead. For real. For real. Like, I get comments all the time. Like, it was even at the one point on one of my videos, somebody commented on my video, and they must have said something to me, and it was a critical comment. And I think I'd responded to actually, I don't know if I'd responded to the comment, but like, this one thing you'll always get from me, guys, unless you are being insane in my comments, I won't delete your comment. You can be as critical as you want with me. You can roast me. You can tell me all the things I am. You know, obviously there's levels, like when it gets to threatening other people or like, you know, harassing other people in my channel. I don't delete comments. But like this one person was like, "Oh no, that's it, man. You're deleting comments. I'll never watch one of your videos again." And I'm here going, "Yo, bro, I swear I did not delete the comment, man. Honestly, YouTube eats my comments all the time, and I'm not even being offensive. For real, for real. Crazy, man. What I hate the most is YouTube deleting my big ass essays explaining stuff in the comments only for it to be gone. Yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. Because, like, I've literally, on my filters, I've got, like, 5 words. And, like, I'm sure you can probably understand what the words are. Like, 4 of those words are variations of one word. Everything else you can pretty much say whatever. Right? What you say fuck me for? That's exactly how I felt, man. Hold up a second, chat. I just got to go for a pee. Back in a moment. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. He back. He back. He back.
Dog. In the base, when we take a look at the Palicos from the Monster Hunter collab, they do the dance, which means that Snoop Dogg is canon, and this information makes me incredibly happy. And that happiness is ripped away when I hear the theory that Elysium is blind. You may think this to be some tomfoolery, but let me explain. The theory has a couple of different points to it. One, his eyes are cloudy, and homie's pulling up many different telescopes and satellites in his Z2. His skill 2 is called focused listening, meaning he's good at hearing, therefore he's on that Daredevil shit. His communication pole doubles as a walking stick. His deploy 1 says, "I wonder who our target will be." Now this can either mean he's Eren Yeager or blind, you take your pick. And the final point, he's been in contact with Mr. Beast. Okay, yeah, this theory probably holds in the water, but I'll be damned if it wasn't a fun read. Link to it in the description. The one theory that surprisingly is true is the one that 3 stars used to be able to get promoted to Elite 2. As we all know, 3 stars are capped at Elite 1. It's one of the countermeasures Hypergryph has against God Crews. It's impossible.
I love the Halloween vibes. I love the Halloween vibes. Mutes. No, we're not muted.
to raise them to
You got
Elite
me.
2.
You got me. I had to
In
check.
the game's current form, that
I had
is.
to check.
However, prior to its release, we were able to Elite 2 3-stars, and the proof of that is right on a ship. Go to any 3-star operator's file, click on the audio tab, right-click on the JP audio link, and select copy audio address. From there, change the numbers at the end to 014 and hit enter.
Skim review foreshadowing, right?
送信嬉しいよ。まあ肩書きが変わっても私は私のままだから。
Oldest trick in the book, right? I got as well. I got.
On my side, the audio auto downloads and plays, but that is how you can access the alliance for Elite 2 3-stars. And in case you're wondering what they're saying, homie, I'm sorry to report, but I got a thing called monolingual skill issue. So in terms of what they're saying, I can't tell in confidence.
Hey, I struggle with the monolingual part of it, you know? I'm English and English is hard.
But if I were to hold a guess as to why they got the voice lines, it's probably because in development, they decided to let 3-stars get to Elite 2. Some people
You know, it's not even that I speak English. It's my first language. I am English and it's still hard.
speculate it's because Elite 3 might have been a thing in development, as we've seen data mines for the icon of it, but we don't know for sure. All we know is that for the full release, them boys are capped at E1, which is really unfortunate because Elite 2 crews
Skill
would
issue.
have been better than like 90% of the 4-star snipers out there. But Hypergryph had to take precautions against God Cruz, so I can slightly understand the rationale behind that decision, but I will never forgive it. And with that statement being said, let's move on to Layer 9, the unification. First order of business at Layer 9 is to expose Siege, for quite honestly a really fun detail. So in IRL, that mythical realm, lions cannot taste sweets. Skill issue, to be honest. And Siege is a lion-human hybrid, don't question Arknights lore. With that being said though, she is normally seen with a lollipop, which begs the question of, if she can't taste sweets, is she just tasting air? And the answer is that the lollipop isn't sweet, it's actually sour. Now as to how that data was retrieved, I don't know. The doctor must have been at Zero Sandy and saw Siege. From there, fuck it, curiosity killed the cat with the bigger cat. But we know that the lollipops aren't sweet. Add that to the fact the lions can't taste sweet.
Well, sour sweet's gonna be nothing to him, is it really? Considering dude makes fucking instant noodles in his mouth, you know? So like, if he decided like, oh fuck it, let me have a look at that, it's gonna be nothing, is he?
Sweets, and it's seeming likely that Siege can't either, which is a neat little detail, and I want to see more stuff like that for other operators. One thing I don't wish to see though is how Nightingale was censored. In case you don't know, take a look at this art. It's her in-game art. Now compare it to this. If you're a degenerate, you've already seen the difference. The cheek has been hidden. I think due to this fact, we need to boycott the game and trend with the
That's disgusting. How dare they? The cake has been taken.
hashtag not my Nightingale. Honestly, how dare Hypergryph do this? And if you look at her hand, she's doing the thing. No, I'm just playing. She wasn't actually censored, just redrawn. I mean, most of you have already done this, but look at her feet. Compared to the other art, the shoes look better and the orientation of them is different. Getting rid of the cheek was probably because it wasn't
Yeah, the feet do look definitely better, don't they?
meant to look like that. It just seemed that way because of the outfit. And I mean, anatomically, it wouldn't make any sense. You could also see the
Release the
straps on her
cheeks.
dress being changed.
Hypersexualized, by the way.
art being updated was probably because the prior one was either an early version being sent in, or maybe the artist was like, nah, I could do better. We don't really know, but it isn't actually censorship, just a redraw. That's something you
Bakery out here trying to sell me biscuits. Like, bro, come on.
probably don't know about is how W ignores gacha rules. In the past, during the Rainbow Six Siege banner at sea, and players were able to roll W on that banner. Thing is, she shouldn't have been able to be rolled. It was a bug. Yes.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna make the easy ass joke. Of course the fucking cockroach slithered in out of nowhere where she wasn't meant to be. That was an easy ass joke, but I'm glad I made it. Let's talk about Jesus being canon. This one is no cap too. In Near Light, Mob said, Jesus, how much money are we gonna owe for this? Therefore proving that his ass is canon. Which begs some questions like, what's his gun? I'm thinking a rocket launcher that shoots out crosses and nails. What did the wise men gift him? I'm betting a brand new 22.
Oh, geez, well, what kind of... If you had a gun, well... Nah, man, I don't think a rocket launcher, you know. I don't know, I was thinking a big Colt 45 revolver or a shotty. For Jesus, that sounds a little bit more, Jesus, if you ask me, you know?
too. And were the 12 disciples about that life? You're damn straight they were. Them motherfuckers definitely did some drive-bys. Granted,
Nail
all of this
shotgun,
goes
you know.
out the window when we look at how the translation was changed to instead say Lord. And
Got the Glock.
yeah, that shit kind of sucks. I won't even cap. They could have gone the Beyblade route and made religion canon by having Moses split the Red Sea with a babe, but they kind of just pussied out of that. So maybe it is cap. Maybe Jesus isn't canon. But if we ever get a sancta named Jesus,
It's Jesus. That's who he was on about, wasn't he? You weren't talking about Jesus. You meant Jesus.
who shoots nails and crosses, I will pot six that motherfucker not only on my account, but on 10 others. It's gonna be a crazier pulling session than the drunken Kelshi pulls, which was a time where a CN streamer decided to roll on the Kelshi and Skelter banner. Thing is though, he was on that same shit Yostar takes for event planning. He was drunk as hell, which is why the recording starts with this.
为斯卡蒂献上心脏，撒撒给我，撒撒给我，心脏撒撒给我。
Yeah, that's how you can tell we're gonna be in for a ride. So this streamer, Xiaolang XF, did 32 pulls on the banner. Got Akafuyu, called her crab,
I've only ever streamed drunk once. I was smashed though, to be fair. I was smashed. We ended up watching comedy sketches.
but then proceeded to
哎呦，我真的，哎，怎么不听话呀，老婆？
My wife wasn't obedient.
I desperately need to know what they were on for this. Then they proceed to say that they have been here since 2008 just for this headhunting, which makes me think this motherfucker is Gilgamesh with future sight. Back in 2008, they had a vision of this banner and couldn't wait for it. Regardless, after teetering on the brink of despair for a minute, in the span of 2 frames, they became locked in for the next 10 pull. Got nothing, said the 6-star raid and High Mouse game is too low, drank water, questioned why it was tasteless. Saw the fact their random was empty, bought a pack, did a 10 pull, got a weedy, despaired, did another 10 pull, got Sculptor, mutilated their table. Then cried tears of joy. Won't even hold you, I feel that shit in the depths of my soul. Then they talked about how nuclear waste is being dumped in the water and decided to do what any good streamer does. Pull up Microsoft Paint for a visualization of what they're saying. From there, the goal of uniting the JP players and the CN players was mentioned. They wanted to unite like a sandwich.
W streamer moment, you know, you gotta fetch out paint, man.
Their words.
Real
not
streamer.
mine. To then stop the companies pouring waste into the water. And apparently AF Ayala is also gonna be on the case to help it, but maybe not, because immediately afterwards they said they were incapable of arranging that, followed by sobbing for 30 seconds, crying about how AO will become dirty if they did that, more sobbing, then saying we were too weak. Weak because we have no power. But shit, maybe they are a fake character. Now during all of this, Scatty is giving us ASMR in the background and they turn to her for help. Sobmore asks if Pharaoh, hi Mal, is here, then says he should lead them to revenge. Maybe against the company pouring waste into the sea? I couldn't tell you. I'm yet to get
Okay,
what they
this
were
is
on,
legendary.
so I'm currently unable to really embody the mindset. Afterwards, they proceeded to sing the Evangelion opening as they bought more Originite Prime. Then bought more Originite Prime, bought the 40 pack of Prime, bought the 66 pack of Prime, clicked on the most expensive pack of Prime, and I'll just let this one play out.
真的我不知道，双星他走了之后，我真的你不知道我日子会一天比一天真的难熬啊。
Oh my god. This is fucking god tier.
Proceeded to exclaim that they will give Hypergryph all of their money,
The
followed that
pain.
up by saying they are high Mao and about to roll for Scatty, and then immediately said they already got her. Went to the store and bought an extra skin and shouted,
哎呀，我永远喜欢森然。
That's where the VOD ends. After the recording, they bought flight tickets to Japan for the operation of uniting
Okay.
like a sandwich and stopping
Alright, that was
nuclear
good.
waste.
That was
but
good.
because of flight restrictions, they couldn't exactly travel there, so instead they just bought domestic tickets. Then packed his bags and presumably passed the fuck out. Next day they woke up, had a dream that they were doing all these pulls on Arknights, went to buy some food and found out they only had $5 in their bank. And
Yeah.
went on to upload a video talking about what
Card declined. Yeah, your rent's due, bro. You fucked.
happened and then threw up the video of their polls. That's the best summary I can do of the polls, but brother, listen to me. In the description is the translated video of it. You need to check that shit out. It's fucking funny. The best
gonna have to look
part
at this
is
at some point.
They weren't even a streamer. They said that they were Xiaolang XF, but they're a different person. They were just too drunk and thought they were the same. Now, due to the video being, unique, it got 7 million views in 4 days. Deservedly so, because that shit was a work of art. It was so
Holy shit, bro.
damn funny. And another story about polls happens to be on the same limited banner. And that story is a beautiful one. A Reddit user called HackerLord101 started playing Arknights. A month into playing it, they made a bold decision, followed by a post on Reddit saying day 20 of saving for Kelshi with the rule of no spending a random
Yeah, we've heard that one before.
until Kelshi drops.
I tell myself that all the
They
time.
did state that they'll still use headhunting tickets, as the only rule was that they could not use a random at all. But on day 20 of saving, they had 73 pulls, counting Prime, 36 without. The next post was on day 60, with art showing their resolve, and with a statement showing the reason for saving. They weren't saving because she was overpowered in the beta, nah. They started saving before seeing her gameplay. They also updated saying they used some headhunting tickets to get Myrtle, understandable, and that they were saving the rest for Neon, also understandable.
Is
Day
dude actually
90
gonna
rolls
stick to
around.
it?
They have 151 Arundums worth of pulls. Recruitment has been good to them. This is their current lineup, with them having got some from recruitment and some from the roles they did prior to saving. Now keep in mind 2 things. 1, they
Yeah, I do really like the recruitment mechanic, man. The recruitment mechanic is fire.
buy the monthly headhunting pack. That shit is $26 and it only gives them a 10 pull they can use because the rules state no Arundum gets used. So that 42 Prime is really only there for skins. They also buy the monthly card, which is
Okay.
$5. Now them getting these was on and off, but the dedication is amazing. Because of the other reason, that was the fact we had zero clue Kelshi was going to be released. We knew of her
Oh, is that how you pronounce that? Kelsey? I'm going to call it Kelsey.
being in the beta, but we did not know any information on her being a playable operator in the full game. Day 120, they have over 100k Arundum and managed to clear Risk 18 for the very first contingency contract. Day
You'd be surprised at the people who actually say, yeah, man, I just look at it from my own point of view, man. I just ain't got the patience, you know. When it's not even the patience, I have very little impulse control, I think.
150, they said they have 300 to spark if they count their prime, but pot 6 is the goal.
Kelsey's the
Day
JP
180,
pronunciation. I say
Arundum stocks
Kelsey.
a bit
Yeah,
above
it's-
150k.
what I
Day
say as well.
240,
It is
they
Kelsey.
have over 200,000.
Kelsey.
Day 270, over 220,000. Day 395, 310,000.
Dedication.
Day 430 of saving for Kelshi. She's announced. They have been saving for more than a year, not using any Arundum for pulls.
I respect that. I respect that. I couldn't do it. Could never be me. Could never be me, but I respect it.
Saving for a character that we did not know existed in the final release, but now we have it. A ray of hope. In 6 months, her banner will come to global and this long journey will pay off. Arundum stocks at 336,000. Day 575. 467,000 Arundum. Day 610. The banner drops. They have almost 500,000 Arundum and are streaming their pulls. They show their squad first, the units they got with only headhunting tickets, and then they go to pull, starting with the free single pull.
The anticipation. The partial zip pull. Wait. Are you kidding me? That's insane. That was fate. You know, that was fate. That was like the game was like, dude, for all of your hard times, for the pure loyalty, here you go. Here you go. The stars aligned, right? The moons, the planets, everything aligned. Damn.
They had saved for more than a year and a half, totaling more than 800 pulls before rolling.
That is
and they got her
wild.
on the first free pull.
I think that actually might be the craziest pull I've ever seen. You know, like I've seen people have insane 10 pulls, multiple big characters in a 10 pull, you know, back to backs, you know, winning 50-50s back to back to back to back in whatever game it might be. That is actually like not only like just insane cinema, but just like I say, it was like destiny. You know what I mean? That was just like destiny. That was. That's wild. That is actually wild.
If that shit isn't deserved, then I don't know what is. It is something dead ass out of a fairy tale.
It's anime protagonist shit. That is, man. Anime protagonist shit.
She was E2'd immediately and sent to get M9'd. Next was the free 10 pull, Kyobe. Not the desired target, but at least it was a free pull. They do 32 pulls without a 6-star, then their next 10 pull is another Kelshi. The next 10 pull is 2 6-stars, a third Kelshi and regular Scotty, which they got in the past with headhunting tickets when they were rolling for Spectre. The chance of them getting a dupe was astronomically low, but on the bright side, they've done 63 pulls and got 5 6-stars. 3 of those being Kelshi. Next 10 pull, a 4th Kelshi. RNG was getting a bit heated, so the next 50 pulls didn't have any 6-stars. But the next 10 pull after that had the 5th Kelshi. The 10 pull after that, 2 6-stars. First the Sculptor, they were probably happy with getting her. Then the next 6-star was the final Kelshi. It only took 143 pulls to get her to pot 6. Nami.
And how many pulls did he have then? Like converting that around and what is that in pulls? That's insane. Not only that, like ridiculous 800 plus. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. That is like, you know, like stranger than fiction. Genuinely.
You could never. After raising her to 90, they did some more pulls for W as they weren't able to get her on her release banner. On the road to Spark W, they got a dupe Exia, Passenger, a dupe Suitor, a Stray Cat, and finally, another Kelshi. They got her pot 7. Got Sculptor and had 310,000 random left. RNG had blessed them for their devotion to the cause.
Right.
They weren't doing this without playing the game, mind you. They still went for risky 18s. Nor are they a YouTuber doing the challenge for content. Hell, the only thing they have uploaded is the VOD. Nah, they just did this, saved for almost 2 years because it was Kelshi. I make jokes all the time like
You're talking about aura farming. This is aura. Holy shit, bro.
Number 1 Sinclair simp, number 1 Exia simp, but this person is easily deserving of the title Kelshi's number 1 fan, supporter, believer, whatever the hell number 1 title you can think of, they've earned it. This started out with no proof she would be in the final release of the game. Then 610 days later they had her pot 7. And recently they said they even have her pot 15, so you just know their account is permanently blessed with Kelshi. They got the buff. Regular accounts got a 50-50 for a 6-star. Theirs now has a 50% rate up, 25% Kelshi rate up, and 25% someone random. Hell, Lowlight himself probably blessed the account. And I reached out to them to ask some questions, and turns out they were able to eventually get any units they missed before rolling for Kelshi, which makes this a beautiful story of an account gaining the permanent Kelshi blessing buff. And with that tale finished, let's move to layer 10, the final layer. And let's start this off with something wholesome, plagiarism. Again. First time it was someone who had an immense rage motor for the game. Second was a creator copying themselves. So I'm sure this time is equally weird and funny, nothing terribly harmful. Turns out it's actual plagiarism this time. And not by somebody orchestrating some 8-dimensional chess game to hurt Arknights' reputation. The person who did it was just stupid. The situation was that Lapland, Liskarm, and Province's archives used to be plagiarized from, funnily enough, Rainbow Six Siege. Now that's something I heard, but I needed proof to see how it was and if it was legit. So I went to Bilibili, copied the Chinese names for the characters off the wiki, and proceeded to search for any video that was made early 2019, as that would be before the characters' files were changed. I finally found a video about Lapland's files, then compared it to the files on Parts Wiki. If it was different, I took a screenshot of it, put it into something to copy the text from it, then put it into DeepL, a translator. Now I say this for 2 reasons. 1 is to highlight why this video is making me slowly lose my mind, and 2, to say that the translated file may not have the greatest accuracy because of what I had to do to understand it. What can I say? Monolingual skill issue. But from what I've seen, only her file 1 was changed from release to what we have now. So I translated it and got this. I put it into Google for Rainbow Six, and the wiki that pulled up was Smokes. This is the line that her original file looks to have been copied from.
What's in the canister?
It isn't one-to-one due to the scuffed-ass way of translating it to English, but I'm willing to bet she was copied from Smoke. And I couldn't find videos about Liz Karma Prompts' original files because they rewrote the archives fast as hell when people were talking about how it was plagiarized. Within 12 hours, Hypergryph rewrote the files, updated the game, then nuked the contractor who plagiarized. From what I've seen, it wasn't that big a deal as it was just some lines in the archive being copied and it was fixed
Yeah, I was gonna
really
say,
quickly.
like, for me, that would you even class that as plagiarism? You know? And that feels more like homage to me.
Naturally, it didn't get shipped that way on EN either. Something that was weirdly shipped on EN though was Angelina being able to attack with her third skill. Now the way to do this bug is honestly pretty simple. So you need to be fighting the Rat King. From there, deploy Angelina and invoke the genius strategy of having her get demolished by the tornado. Now as she's in the Sahara washing machine, you need to activate her third skill.
Lola loves Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six or just Siege. Siege is a great game, no man. I used to play a lot of Siege.
As it's up, have her die. From
I mean, it
there,
is,
when
but
you
it's not that big of a
deploy her
deal in
again,
my
she'll be
opinion.
able to do regular attacks and use her third skill. Now as to why this is the case, I don't know. Maybe she's pissed you let Master Splinter have a positive KD against her, I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that it's possible to make Suitor fully immortal. Now like the prior bug, this one is fairly easy to do. However, it's a bitch to
That's ironic considering when you use her in Enfield, you've only got to touch water and you're dead.
explain. So I'm gonna use Rhode Island HQ's explanation for this so I don't accidentally give out the steps to summon Satan. So the game recycles buff containers to save memory. Long story short, in the simplest way possible, there's a value for buffs. Imagine it as a true or false. More specifically, it's different, but again, simplifying. If you want a detailed breakdown, link to one in the description. Now if you let a Shamari doll retreat next to KO Bear Scavenger, you make the buff container invalid. The buff in this case being Lone Wolf. Imagine it to where you basically fuck the game in the ass by having Shamari's doll retreat next to those with Lone Wolf. The game had two buffs pop at the same time and thus glitches out that buff value, which becomes false, invalid. When that shit becomes invalid, it makes it so any buff activated afterwards doesn't work. And in game, Suitor's immortality talent is treated as a buff. So when that becomes invalid, she no longer gets retreated after 8 seconds at 1 HP, and instead stays on the field forever unless you manually retreat her. Now of course, since the origin of this bug is invalidating a buff, there's a lot of other cool shit you can do with it, like making Unetics constantly regenerate SP,
right?
even when not blocking. And keep in mind, this was before she got the module to be able to do that. You could also rip away Faust's invisibility or make Tallulah stop that dumb little mini sun shit. Now unfortunately, and kind of understandably, the bug has been fixed. But it was easily one of the coolest bugs we've gotten in the game, and the mechanisms behind it are almost equal to the depth of the 100-page Rosemontis thesis. So this one's both crazy yet equally impressive to how crazy it is.
Look at that
So it's as the
fang.
name implies, a 100-page thesis on Rosemontis.
I ain't never
breaking
living it
down her
down.
uses, attack value, skills, and I don't know, probably her blood type and how many strands of hair there is in her head. The thing is, the thesis was 100 pages. This iceberg is at 67 pages right now. So imagine the length of this video but entirely geared towards Rosemontis. That is to say, I do not know how the hell they were able to cook so hard.
Damn. Yeah. Wild. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just, again, dedication. You know.
Unfortunately, I cannot get an in-document translation without a WeChat
Levels
login,
I'll never
whatever
attain.
the hell WeChat is, but I am 1000% sure that within the pages of this document exists the truth to the universe. And if it doesn't, then I do not know what the hell they were able to talk about for 100 pages dedicated to Rosemary. Regardless, I am beyond impressed with what they made. The
Character
link to
isn't
the
that good
document in the
generally,
description.
really.
Now, an honorable mention within the same vein is the person who wrote their graduation thesis on Silver Ash's design. And apparently that paper did really well, understandably so. If he's gonna be the king of bloodlines, then he better have the drip to back it up. Now those two papers are really impressive, especially the Rosemontis one, as I would have just described her as Better Use Cat Edition. But something that is even more complex than the 100-page thesis.
Admittedly, much of
is
that page count was down to images and tables. Yeah, it's still all fair play.
Institute. Now when I say the Institute, I'm not
I'll
referring
get maybe like 2 pages deep and I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. You know? And any scripted content I ever make, really, if it gets to like a couple of 4 or 5 pages, I'm like, yeah, job's a good one. Job's a good one.
to some shadow organization that secretly runs Hypergryph. I'm instead talking about the Great Owls Research Institute of Egyptology. So after hearing me say that out loud, you may think that the effects of me making this video for 1 month straight has finally taken over my sanity. And honestly, It has, but trust, they're a real thing. They're a group of CN players who banded together to uncover the mystery of Hypergryph's ARGs and random codes.
Yeah,
One
these are
example of
wild.
a code they cracked was in the second PV of Arknights.
We saw this from Renegade's video, didn't we? And it was just like, I was pretending I got what the fuck was going on.
For half a second in that trailer, a code appears and they caught that shit. Figured out it was Morse code, got this whack ass shit, then figured out it was the IMDb number for Back to the Future. Weird find, but the process was cool. Now, when the Taiwanese server dropped their PV, the Institute found it and analyzed that shit frame by frame, figuring out 5 different instances of something weird popping up. I should also probably mention that they had to turn the brightness up enough to create a mini sun to see these little puzzles. But they saw these images and put them together and found out it was a QR
Yeah, I
code.
know, yeah.
Scanning it gave the word
Yeah, I know, it's a
"Hey,
different one, yeah.
Hypergryph calm." Then later in the trailer, they saw
I'm
a
just
frame
talking in
that
general,
said
like,
A
I
with the
know.
rest censored, so they put them together to
Above
get
my
A
pay grade.
Hypergryph calm, the official pre-order website for Arknights. Now that image, when rotated east, gives the word next, so they put in ak.hypergryph.com/next and saw this. A message from Closure, but at the top it's sent to /dear recorder. So they put that in after the website domain and heard this.
Now, you should be that one. The one who brings hope back.
Terrifying to say the least, but that also gave them an idea. Remember the Back to the Future line? Well, what if they input future after the domain? This image appears, with the file name being to the future. Now put the future at the end of the domain and you get this. Then they deciphered the code to reveal these messages. And you see these quotes appear in the same PV they got the future line from. But the numbers at the bottom were still unsolved for, until Code of Brawl. Now, as is the case, they analyzed this frame by frame and found a barcode. A Japanese postal barcode which gave the same IMDb number as Back to the Future. And they also found 2 parts of a QR code. And when you scan that, you got the URL for ak.hypergryph.com/penguinlogistics/tracking. Enter the Back to the Future number and this pops up, with hidden text underneath it. They decrypted the Morse code at the top and got this number, punched it into the tracker and saw this. Now the meaning of this is no one fucking knew. It came out of left field and left the Institute in the dust. Then Hypergryph issued a challenge. The first to solve this puzzle
Fucking
got a
wild,
reward.
man.
Now this right here was basically the fucking One Piece for Arknights players, and the Institute wasn't gonna let anyone else become the Pirate King. A researcher by the name of Sir Liv figured out that the middle of the picture was code. Shortly it was decrypted to reveal the text DJ Okawari. They posted the answer and won the One Piece, which was another fucking puzzle. The deadass just got One Piece Shippuden, but this related Back to the Future puzzle. And with this extra clue,
Nice. Nice. That'd be me where I'd just be like, you know what? Fuck this now. Yeah, this sort of shit's way above my pay grade. I haven't even got the patience to even try and attempt to do stuff like this. And I'm not even going to pretend I could, you know?
the Institute
brain's
was
just
still
not
slow.
built that
They
way.
tried to fill the square with Minesweeper, crosswords, or Sudoku, but none of those were really working. Until a researcher on December 25th proposed the idea, what if we consider the blank cell as
It's like some people's neurons activate when they see stuff like this. Me, I see booba, thighs. That's how I get, you know, that's how you get my brain going.
flags
This
in
shit just
Minesweeper and calculate
cabbages
the
me.
number of mines based on the Minesweeper rule on each cell except cross cell. Truly, I do not know what the hell they meant by that, but the puzzle was refined into this. And the letter Sir Live got said try plus and minus, so they did and got a Sudoku puzzle. To verify I was correct, at the end of the future picture, the numbers corresponded to the points on the Sudoku. So row 3 column 3 is 2, row 4 column 4 is 1, etc, etc. With this, they found the compass. Paired with the acrylic map, they can finish One Piece Shippuden. Only
Shut
problem,
bro.
where the fuck is the compass supposed to point to? What's the correct orientation of it? This is where they went back to 2017. On the old official website for Arknights, this picture was found. The code decrypted with base 36 says controlled her mind, but the important part is the text saying we are heading east. So, place a map on the Sudoku puzzle with east facing upwards. Read the overlap numbers and you have 2853523. So they went back to the Penguin Logistics website and punched in that tracking code. December 23rd, taken out. Locker expired. Parcel 1 has been taken out. May 1st, waiting for taking out. Parcel 1 has stored in lockers. April 29th, delivering. Cargo has arrived at Lungman Central Hub. April 27th, parcel received. Temporary hub D01 has received the parcel. Parcel 1 out of, with this being the parcel. The code is International Telegraph saying the record of the recorder. They decoded the blue text with Unicode and got this text. When I first met her, she was with that.
Right, Pixman? I'm just like, Oh, cool. That sounds cool. At this point, like, it's like listening to a, you know, like, I don't know, something I don't understand. It's legit.
person. Returning to the camp from the
I
desert.
listen
with
to a
difficulty.
physicist talk
At
about
first, I
stuff.
didn't
It's
take
like,
much notice of
sounds
this
cool.
girl,
Sounds
but
cool.
felt intuitively that she's unlike any child I've ever seen. Although as an Outlander, I didn't spend much time with the president, but I noticed at the moment the president set sight on that child, she's no longer as depressed as when she left the committee, as if she became another person. This is when I realized, perhaps I'm not the
So I
only
lived into
one
the
with
math
that
teacher.
feeling. She's not as radiant as a crystal like the president. She's more like an uncut gemstone found among charcoals. She's too special. The president told me the child's name in the end, Amia. She said
Cool
she
words,
might be able to
magic man.
guide the
For real.
child's growth, but I can see in her eyes that what she desires more is that the child can bring a different silver lining to this land in the future. Signed, Recorder. It's really amazing to see how members of the community came together and created an
impressive.
entire
It is
organization
impressive,
with sign-ups
yeah.
for people to join it. And then to have that organization solve the craziest puzzles imaginable, which culminated
I feel like the CCP was watching this and was like, right, get on the phone, hire them. We want those guys, you know?
in us seeing Theresa's hopes and wishes for Amia. And the institution didn't stop there. There have been many other puzzles they've solved, and I don't wish to cover all of them, as I would like you to go in the description and go through their Twitter posts showing what they've done or their Weibo posts describing it. Seriously, some of the puzzles they've solved are absolutely amazing and more people need to know about them. It's criminal that the Great Owl Institute isn't talked about more, though since Hypergryph has stopped making puzzles they haven't been able to solve much. But in the future, if they ever make another puzzle,
Probably doesn't get spoke about that much because most people just don't understand it, you know? And when they try to, they have an aneurysm. So they're just like, yeah, cool. I ain't got time for that.
I think we all know who the first to solve it will be.
Nobody
But
got time
let's
for
talk
that.
about the final point of this long iceberg. How Yostar made Arknights. Now, of
Okay.
course, that's not actually the case.
crooks.
Hypergryph still made it, and Yostar is the publisher. But the reason I bring this up is to detail what happened before Arknights was created. An interview was done with the CEO of Yostar.
Is this in regard to, because wasn't he the guy who sold his family home to fund the creation of Arknights? And individually, isn't he the one that has shares? He's the one who individually has shares, right? Yeah.
Thing is, that was done like 4 years ago. I only found out about it as I randomly
Which,
saw it.
when you think is insane, you know, not borrowing money against the company that he owns, you know, not trying to raise capital, literally being like, yo, I believe in this shit. I'm gonna sell the family home, bro, and let's just go with it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Fuck it.
Scrolling on Reddit, because this post translated the contents of the interview, and from what I've seen, this is the only translation of it. But the interview starts with the question to the CEO of Yostar on what they did after their first game flopped. So the Yostar CEO looked at the company's bank, saw Void had consumed it, then took the natural decision of selling his house. From there, the money was used to publish Azure Lane, and then was invested in Hypergryph.
That is like the definition of the saying: scared money don't make no money. You know, you gotta be in it to win it. You know what I mean? You gotta put it on the line, literally.
For them to later make Arknights. Which is why, when people mistakenly say that Yostar made Arknights, they are not 1,000,000% wrong, just 99%. As it's very likely that even without Yostar having funded Hypergryph, they would have been fine. Because when High Mouse split from Ghost Frontline, he took a fair bit of talent with him. So the potential of the game and company was really easy to see. And fast forward 7 years later, we now have Arknights.
True
one
Life
of the
of a
most
Gambler,
popular
right?
Gacha games out there. It's made an amazing world that many people are invested in, created so many fun characters that people love, and fostered a community that is one of the nicest I've seen, either from making some of the best videos
Yeah, not to glaze you guys again, but to be fair, so far the Arknights community's been pretty fucking chill, man. I like it.
ever, or
IRL
showing their love for
Gacha,
the game in
you
so
rolled,
many different artworks for
won the
it, or
50-50.
seeing everyone come together to help out a creator who had their channel hacked. I haven't exactly been the most prominent member of the community. After all, I've made like 10 videos on Arknights, but I've been a part of the community for 3 years now. I've seen it through the highs and the lows. But after 3 years of playing this game and being a part of the community, I'm able to confidently say that, man, I love this game.
Yo, to bang out a 2-hour, 20-minute video, you've got to. We got Doctor.
ドクター、お久しぶりです。アーミュです。Face up to the sky, I can feel it now. I've been searching hard for a little while.
Okay.
Hear the sound.
That was a banger video.
Voices from the sky. Is it in my
That was like dedication. See, this is what I love about video games, you know? They bring people together, don't they? They bring people together from all across the world. You know, not just video games, you know. You know, you can think of sci-fi, fantasy, just good IP. You know, it must be a pleasure to create something that people around the world fall in love with. You know what I mean? And then you can see people enjoying it for years.
Sometimes I like to imagine.
It must be a nice feeling. You know, whether you think you've written a book, or you've created a fancy world, or a film, or a show, or an anime, a game, a novella, whatever it might be, music.
Is it real? I'm trying, but I feel
Must be like, you know, give you that warm, fuzzy feeling. You know, to see people around the world not only enjoying it, but cosplaying and going to events, and not only like enjoying it, but meeting friends. You know, people have got married through meeting on video games and at music concerts and stuff, haven't they? Like, you can actually say you've genuinely changed somebody's lifeline. Yeah, it does seem like that, Nick V, yeah. It's why I've been, By the way, this is not copyrighted. I'm not too sure. It's only one song anyway, we can post to it if it is. That's one thing I've got a lot of respect for, like I say, a lot of the Chinese devs. There's a lot of passion comes out from Chinese developers. I love to see. One thing I get a lot of pleasure out is when people have got passion about things. Even if it's something I do not enjoy at all, it's nice to see. You know what I mean? It's nice to see.
I know I'm a little late, but here's to Global's 4th anniversary. As I said, I haven't done that much within the community, but after being in it for more than 3 years now, I really want to make a video celebrating the community. So, I hope you like this iceberg I made. I will be making more Arknights content like this, as in case it wasn't evident from the length of the video, I got a lot of passion for the game. But since this video
Definitely.
has taken more than a month and a half for me to make, for now, I'm just gonna rest.
Not gonna lie, that's not even that long a time for something this big. You know, the script writing, the editing, the scouring for the footage to record before editing, the research. That was probably some long days and sleepless nights. You know, like, I respect these sort of videos because, like I said, I have done my fair share of, especially recently as well, like, you know, theory crafting videos, lore videos when it comes to Wuthering Waves, and these are videos that are like anywhere between 6 to 12 minutes long, and I've spent a few days on those videos. You know what I mean? And some quite late nights as well. Usually the editing and the video, searching for the video, and obviously the research side of things, especially when it comes to the theory crafting side of things. Yeah, man, it's good to see that he absolutely slapped in the views. 250,000, well worth it. Right, well worth it.
So, thank you for watching. Here's to an amazing 4th year of this game we all love.
Snowflakes falling on your face. A cold wind.
That deserves a comment. That deserves a comment, that does, because that is just a banger of a video. Banger of a video. Genuinely, that was a good video. Again, nice to see from Sunil, the passion there in the game itself as well. You know, not just about the game, the community, the entirety of it all surrounding it. That was cool. I'm glad we watched that. I'm glad we watched that. Shout out to everybody who's been telling me, keep telling me, dude, you need to watch the video. You need to watch the video. By the way, reminder, there's a new CN event trailer if you want to watch. Is it on the channel? Is it on the Arknights channel? Son of worked hard for this peak. Agreed. Demon LZ could never. Same here, dude. Same here, man. I'm telling you. A 10-minute scripted video is as long as you're going to get from me. Potentially. Maybe a little bit longer. Nothing to this degree, though. It's insane. It's almost 6 years. Glad to be in this amazing community. I just want to say shout out to everybody who's kind of welcomed me in as a new player, as a newbie, as a Bambi. Finally catch up to the stream, a random person. It's been an amazing time. Now I've got that saved actually, Mandez. I've got that saved. We are going to watch that at some point. There's going to be any skin review next. It's 4:30. It's a good job the fucking video's just finished, chat, because I didn't realise the time. We're not going to be able to get the skins in. we're not going to be able to get the skins in, chat. I didn't think that was the time. I genuinely didn't think it was 4:30. I thought it was going to be about 5 to 4, if I'm honest. I probably yapped more than I thought I was going to, if I'm honest. But yeah, it was a really good video. It was a really good video. Hey Kiari, not with sharing content. Alright, well, if somebody wants to link it to me in Discord, we can watch it. But yeah, it's 4:30, guys. I've got to go and get Rosie from work. Loyal to the beats. Yeah, we will. We'll get through some more of the PVs. We've got some more of the EPs to listen to. Watch the PVs. Yeah, definitely. Yo, Cheese, how's it going, fella? So yeah, guys, shout out to everybody who's been watching the stream. I really do appreciate ya. Smash the like button as well. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes on the stream, guys. I'd really, really appreciate that. I am going to have to love you and leave you, you beautiful people. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to play the game tomorrow. We'll probably react to some PVs and some EPs as well, and do the skin react tomorrow. I think we'll check out some of the skins tomorrow as well, and we'll play the game. Yeah. So yeah, well, that might have to take a couple of streams if I'm honest. I might be back again tonight, but we won't be streaming Arknights. I might be on my second channel. I might be on this channel, but it won't be Arknights. We might be doing just a bit of Zenless, some reverse 1999, maybe some Nikkei, and maybe doing the fishing event on Wuthering Waves. But yeah, guys, I will play the game tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, guys, I do appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for hanging out. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, thank you for making the stream awesome. It's been brilliant. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you all later. Have a great day, whatever it is, the morning, the afternoon, the evening, or the night. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you all later, guys. All right? Ta-ra.